My name is Sola. My name is Sola Babajide. What inspired my form last season is that, I've been with Tenerife for 2 years, so I feel like we had a better understanding of one another and how we play. And with the new manager stepping in as well, like he was able to utilize me and like understand how I can properly like just help the team really. So that's one. After my season with Tenerife, I've been wanting like a Champions League club, so I guess that will be announced later today where I go to next. So yeah, that's all I can say really.
Well, to me, I don't think there's a team of favorites. I think we have so many amazing players on the field, but they all make me, and so I couldn't do it without the Super Falcons. 22 was the first number that I just wanted to stick with. Change it. I'm a 9, if you know, but I tried to change it to 9. Ended up changing it to because I number, but I just decided to stay with 22 just because it's true to me. Maybe okra soup or obono soup is pretty good, but I don't like farina or I don't like fufu. Just the soups. My parents are Nigerian. I'm Nigerian just like everyone else, honestly. If you're going to. I signed a 2-year contract with Houston, so I'm really just focused on being there, making sure that I make an impact at Houston, lift a trophy, hopefully, since I've been there for 5 years, and I'll go from there. Confident in our play. I know that we've built a lot in this camp, in this new team with many debutantes, and so it's amazing to see just what we've been.
Female coach went
person. How did that make you feel?
Well, it's one of those things in life. The expectations most times are not always met. CAF will have our reasons for why the award didn't go to the winner of the last WAFCON. I had expected that I would win the award. However, that is not the end of life. Life continues. It has gone to somebody else. We'll continue to do our best and make sure that we make our country proud.
What do you make of the group stage?
Yeah, it's a good one for us because at this level, there are no easy teams. No easy teams. At the same time, it is equally good that you come up against such teams, even in the group stage, because by the time you are done with that, you hope to. It helps to make your team even better. It's not quite much of a worry for us because we know them, we know they know us also. So it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be an easy game, considering the result of the last game between the two of us. So we all know how challenging that can be, but then it's something that we have to work on.
Now we have 16 teams.
Yes.
World Cup tickets at stake.
Yeah.
What should Nigerians be expecting from you and your team?
For us, the priority is to pick the World Cup ticket. That is our major objective. Retaining the cup will be secondary. The primary objective is qualifying to make sure that Nigeria makes an appearance at the next World Cup in Brazil. Any other thing that comes after that will be like a bonus for us. That is not to say we're just going to relinquish the cup. We want to retain it as well as qualify to go to the World Cup. That is our major objective.
My name is Omorinsola Babajide. What inspired my form last season is that, I've been with Tenerife for 2 years, so I feel like we had a better understanding of one another and how we play. And with the new manager stepping in as well, like he was able to utilize me and like understand how I can properly just help the team really. So that's one. After my season with Tenerife, I've been wanting like a Champions League club, so I guess that will be announced later today where I go to next. So yeah, that's all I can say really. Okay, I'm very confident that we have the ability to beat any team in this competition. We topped the group, which is what we wanted to do. So yeah, that was possible for us, and we're just taking every game as it comes. And yeah, we just need to perform to the best of our ability. We're a very strong team. Everyone knows that we're the best in Africa as well, so we just need to showcase that really, which I'm sure that we'll be able to do that. Let's see. What is it called? Bayless Queens? Oh, to be fair, I don't know that one. I only really know 3. Okay, Edo Queens, Remo Stars, and what's it called? The B Queens team? I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, no, I need to pay more attention of the teams in Nigeria. But like, I see it getting bigger and bigger over social media as well, which I'm very happy to see. But yeah, I need to educate myself a little bit more on the league, which I'm sure I will. Done.
have an agreement with an airline that can actually fly the senior men's national team,
So what's
why
up
not
with the
do
women?
something for the ladies?
You
know,
make a throw this
who
one.
are more precious?
Make a throw this one self. The thing I don't enjoy, especially with the Super Falcons, is that we have a national team that has, sponsors, Nike, right? And I don't see that package.
If you have an agreement with an airline that can actually fly the senior men's national team,
so what's
why
up
not
with the
do
women?
something for the ladies?
Make a throw this
who
one.
are more precious?
Make a throw this one self. The thing I don't enjoy, especially with the Super Falcons, is that we have a national team that has, sponsors, Nike, right? And I don't see that package. The way they carry. No worry, AFCON will come. You go see how they go dance.
No, we'll see. No,
they go dance, they go dance, they go do things. But you know, they say in this special package, no bye-bye ceremony, no, hey, welcome to wherever. They have offices, they have shops in all these places because they are big also in Portugal, because the national team for Portugal, they also dress them. But go the babes, go their Portugal babes. And go their social media now. Go their babes side for Portugal. And see what Nike did and see what they happen with the babes.
That will tell you the question of that. Now it comes down to us saying, what kind of deal did we sign with them?
Like, is it
sometimes when you don't know the details of these deals, you really can't blame these sponsors.
Enterprises.
Enterprises.
Because it's what you sign, that's what we
the
give
details. I work with the under 20 team. You saw that when players are going to, they're coming to play football, they don't add sneakers to it. So I don't know what kind of deal is that. So you're not fully kitted, and then you see another team. You have from the bag. Yes, from their backpack to their sneakers to the socks, everything. So they have it all complete. Then you look at your own female national team. Yes, they have the joggers and the shirt.
All of us
But then you have
fighting for water bottle.
No, not even that. Then you have each of them wearing different sneakers. Some who have money will buy the Nike with their own money. Those who don't have will buy. Then they now use sellotape to actually cover the brand so that it won't show. And why those who can actually have plain. So if you carry your backpack, you use viral. Cancel the brand. So you can write. I mean, when you have that kind of thing, so what do you expect? So it wasn't the question of what kind of deal did they sign? The deal they signed, is it a complete kit or is just the top and the trouser and the top? Maybe that's the deal they signed, so you really can't tell.
There we go. Any moment from now is going to happen. Morocco are beginning to panic. Right now they need a mechanic, so this team will not be sinking like Titanic. The final whistle has been blown! Mission X is complete! Nigeria Super Falcons have come from 2-0 down to beat Morocco by 3 goals to 2. Esau Koronkwo Ijami Lucy and also the brilliance of Ikenne has given Nigeria a fantastic story. Has enjoyed a moment of glory. A team in a different category. Full-time in Rabat. Morocco 2, Nigeria 3. The Super Falcons are champions of Africa for a 3rd time. Amazing stuff. Shout out to every doubting Thomas. We're famous. No one can blame us. Yes. Congratulations. Yes. Come on. Get down here. There has to be eviction. There has to be one team emerging as the ultimate champions. Would it be Morocco? Would it be Nigeria? It is on a knife edge, this one. This free kick is from over 30 yards out. Long ball by Esau Koronkwo. Nigeria Super Falcons have done it! Amazing scenes! Moments of celebration from all across Nigeria, because the Super Falcons have met the criteria, and it feels like Moroccan players are sick with malaria. Nigeria have gone from 2 goals down to lead by 3 goals to 0, and the moment is magical. Esau Koronkwo with the free kick. Ikenne was in the mix. And this is 3-2 for Nigeria. Mission X is on the cards. Yeah! Ikenne with the magic. Morocco 2, Nigeria 3.
You don't know we. Now we be Nigeria now.
You can bring it. You can bring the flag right now, man.
You don't know we.
I cannot believe it.
You don't know we.
Incredible scenes.
You don't know we.
Millions of Nigerians around the world will be celebrating right now. This is stunning. This is stunning.
Now we the go landlord house go for sure.
Mission X.
Now we the go landlord house go for sure.
Great exhibition. So much excitement. It's exhilarating. And Nigerians are tweeting about this one on X. Yes. The Super Falcons are just minutes away from winning their 10th
Now we the go
Women's
landlord
Africa Cup of Nations
house.
title.
Now we. Come on, dear.
Let's get back to
Well, Nigeria trying to score a second goal here.
It's our goal.
My baby!
Here's where with the chance she buries into the back of the net to give Nigeria the lead in this game. What a wonderful opportunity as Nigeria take the lead in Lome. 1-0. Wonderful goal.
Wonderful goal, great finish, good run, good pass. It was very timely, and it was a top finish from Chiwendi. His
Chance, Esther Okoronkwo buries the ball. Nigeria double their lead. And out of nowhere, the Super Falcons have scored the second goal of this game. It's Esther Okoronkwo who buries the ball with her left boot. Nigeria 2, Benin Republic 0.
It's good for them going into the second half.
Yeah.
2-goal lead, and this would demoralize the Benin Republic more, and it's a good result for Super Falcons.
Dawn threads the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side, finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the post. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalize! And Chiwendu is with a chance to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria are back in this one. Fantastic. And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Mishala Lozier to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the box. The header from Chiwendu in his way. Cameroon won, Nigeria won. Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left. Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1. That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons, and it seems like the ladies nicely done. Threads the ball forward, goes to the left-hand side, finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the post. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalize, and Chiwendu is scored to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria are back in this one. Fantastic. And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Mishala Lozier to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the box. The header from Chiwendu in his way. Cameroon won, Nigeria won. Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left. Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1. That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons, and it seems like the ladies heard us. Nice interplay of passes. Jamilusi going to the left wing. You clearly could see the interconnection between the attackers. Jamilusi picking the ball, putting a cross in. He threw the Cameroonians in 5s and 6s, and he just confused the defense. A couple of hit and miss hits here and there. The ball landed on Rinsola Babajide's foot, who had that final touch to put the ball at the back of the net. Play from Nigeria, but they have it now. Chiwendu Ezwe now with the ball. Rashidat Ajibade, ball forward, header from Michel Alozie! And how about that for a celebration? It was a wonderful cross. Right. Deep one for Michel Alozie, who rose highest to get to the end of that. Sweet header, bottom left corner, and no chance for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. It's Cameroon 1, Nigeria 3. Nicely done. Stretch the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side to host the World Cup. They talked about preparation and, about also the heavy criticism. The men's tournament, in Morocco. But we should be rest assured that Morocco are hosting this one. Or you have any last ditch?
If there was a chance they wouldn't host it, would have been when we first heard the news, which was after AFCON. This literally in March. The tournament is this month,
17th of March. It's just around the corner.
It would be utter wickedness if they do that. I think that then with the news that came out, then it was emotions. Emotions were really high. They felt like they were robbed. They felt like the whole world was coming for them. But I think now emotions are more doused. They would look to host the rest of Africa in this one. No last minute changes.
All right, no last minute changes. Well, I don't think they will also have any last minute changes because they've been a great host, so to speak. Apart from all the antics, from the football field, but they've been wonderfully hosting the tournaments in Africa, and they've been hosting the women's tournament for the past three tournaments now, and they're doing a wonderful job with that one. Do not forget, you can hit the subscribe button on vivxsports on YouTube to stay connected with everything that we do here.
As always, the 54 Football X, we're back this time for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. It's ahead of tomorrow's second leg, final qualifying series against the Amazons of Benin Republic. The first leg finished 2-0 in favor of the Super Falcons, who are the defending champions of the Women's African Cup of Nations.
Dans les jambes. Une dernière fois. Allez-y. Allez. Circule le ballon aux extrémités. Allez, une balle ou deux là-bas. Vite, 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 vite. Ok. Bibi.
Feel being here and what have you learned already? It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of high competitiveness, and it's just it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players to grow. If you had to create a soundtrack for your football journey so far, which three songs are definitely on it? Ele Dumare by Wizkid, Ojo Elegba by Wizkid, Gratitude by Tokwe Alabi. Who is the better dancer in camp, you or Esther Nkoroko? To be honest, I'd say I'm not really a good dancer. I just vibe to the song, and I'd say Esther is a better dancer than myself. What does being part of this Super Falcons team mean to you at this early stage of your career? It means so much. It is such a very big privilege, and I'm so excited about it because I know there's thousands of people that are also worthy to be here. But I would say Grace just brought me here, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And it's always an honor to put on the Nigeria jersey. Who is taking on that big sister role for you in camp? Always encouraging, always checking in. I feel like everyone, to be honest, because I'm the baby of the house. So I'm one of the baby of the house, and Everyone has been sweet. Everyone has taken the role of a senior sister to me, and I'm grateful for every one of them for how they treat me, how they look out for the younger ones in the camp. You have one movie night with teammates. What film are you picking and why? I think I'll pick Squid Game. I'm not really a fan of movie a lot, but I've seen Squid Game, and I think I like the suspense. I like the fact that there's a little bit of horror and everyone is just going to be on their toes. And it's going to be a fun, horrific, funny, and interesting experience. Thank you.
Last game against Benin Republic, we all knew it was not going to be an easy game based on the information we had. And we also had a few challenges had to do with the release of players, arrival, travel arrangements generally, which equally accounted for, some of our players not having adequate rest. The situation tomorrow will be different, and knowing what we know of the Beninois team, everybody has improved now, and everybody is trying to make sure that they also give a good account of themselves. This edition takes you to the World Cup, and so we have already forgotten about the celebration of the last WAFCON, and work has started towards the next edition because we know it's going to be tougher. The last edition, we didn't go there as champions. This time around, we are going to defend the trophy as champions. So there will be a lot of factors that we are anticipating, that will pose a lot of challenges to us, which we are also looking at and then trying to put up a plan as to how we can address some of these anticipated challenges as defending champions.
It's Mike for 54 Football X. My question is for the captain. The last time a Beninois national team visited Nigeria, it was 4-0. As captain of the side, is this going to be part of your inspiration, part of your team talk to the ladies to say, we can actually replicate this or even do better? Or are you ladies taking inspiration from that particular fixture that ended 4-0?
I mean, the most important thing for us is to focus on ourselves. Of course, the team that won against Beninois at that time is not the same team as it is right now. And of course, we just want to keep going with the current performance of the team. And we believe that if we replicate the things we've been doing in the previous games and probably in the last games, we'll get a better result. So that's what's more important to us. So it's not the numbers. The most important thing is for us to win. So yeah, thank you.
The award for the best of female coach, another person. How did that make you feel?
Well, it's one of those things in life. The expectations most times are not always met. CAF will have our reasons for why the award didn't go to the winner of the last WAFCON. I had expected that I would win the award. However, that is not the end of life. Life continues. It has gone to somebody else. We'll continue to do our best and make sure that we make our country proud.
What do you make of the group stage?
Yeah, it's a good one for us because at this level, there are no easy teams. At the same time, it is equally good that you come up against such teams, even in the group stage, because by the time you are done with that, you hope to, it helps to make your team even better. It's not quite much of a worry for us because we know them, we know they know us also. So it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be an easy game, considering the result of the last game between the two of us. So we all know how challenging that can be, but then it's something that we have to work on.
Now we have 16 teams.
Yes.
World Cup tickets at stake.
Yeah.
What should Nigerians be expecting from you and your team?
For us, the priority is to pick the World Cup ticket. That is our major objective. Retaining the cup will be secondary. The primary objective is qualifying to make sure that Nigeria makes an appearance at the next World Cup in Brazil. Any other thing that comes after that will be like a bonus for us. That is not to say we're just going to relinquish the cup. We want to retain it as well as qualify to go to the World Cup. That is our major objective.
I don't think there's a team of favorites. I think we have so many amazing players on the field, but they all make me, and so I couldn't do it without the Super Falcons. 22 was the first number that I just wanted to stick with. Change it. I'm a
Yes. Different.
Gosh. You're welcome.
Yummy. Also, babe. Also.
Rafiat.
How about you? Hello. Hi. How are you? How you doing? Go on left side then. No, left. On the left.
Shoot cross.
Already, it feels so great for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of it's a lot of high competitiveness, and it's just it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players to grow. If you had to create a soundtrack for your football journey so far, which three songs are definitely on it? Ele Dumare by Wizkid, Oju Elegba by Wizkid, Gratitude by Tope Alabi. Who is the better dancer in camp, you or Esther Nkoroko? Be honest. To be honest, I'd say I'm not really a good dancer. I just vibe to the song, and I'd say Esther is a better dancer than myself. What does being part of this Super Falcons team mean to you at this early stage of your career? It means so much. It is such a very big privilege, and I'm so excited about it because I know there's thousands of people that are also worthy to be here. But I would say Grace just brought me here, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And it's always an honor to put on the Nigeria jersey. Who is taking on that big sister role for you in camp? Always encouraging, always checking in. I feel like everyone, to be honest, because I'm the baby of the house, so I'm one of the baby of the house, and everyone has been sweet. Everyone has taken the role of a senior sister to me, and I'm grateful for every one of them for how they treat me, how they look out for the younger ones in the camp. You have one movie night with teammates. What film are you picking and why? I think I'll pick Squid Game. I'm not really a fan of movie a lot, but I've seen Squid Game, and I think I like the suspense. I like the fact that there's a little bit of horror, and everyone is just going to be on their toes. And it's going to be a fun, horrific, funny, and interesting experience. Thank you. How does it feel being here, and what have you learned already? It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of it's a lot of high competitiveness, and it's just it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players to grow. If you had to create a soundtrack for your football journey so far, which three songs are definitely on it? Ele Dumare by Wizkid, Oju Elegba by Wizkid, Gratitude by Tope Alabi. Who is the better dancer in camp, you or Esther Nkoroko? Be honest. To be honest, I'd say I'm not really a good dancer. I just vibe to the song, and I'd say Esther is a better dancer than myself. What does being part of this Super Falcons team mean to you at this early stage of your career? It means so much. It is such a very big privilege, and I'm so excited about it because I know there's thousands of people that are also worthy to be here. But I would say Grace just brought me here, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And it's always an honor to put on the Nigeria jersey. Who is taking on that big sister role for you in camp? Always encouraging, always checking in. I feel like everyone, to be honest, because I'm the baby of the house, so I'm one of the baby of the house, and everyone has been sweet. Everyone has taken the role of a senior sister to me, and I'm grateful for every one of them for how they treat me, how they look out for the younger ones in the camp. You have one movie night with teammates. What film are you picking and why? I think I'll pick Squid Game. I'm not really a fan of movie a lot, but I've seen Squid Game, and I think I like the suspense. I like the fact that there's a little bit of horror, and everyone is just going to be on their toes. And it's going to be a fun, horrific, funny, and interesting experience. Thank you. How does it feel being here, and what have you learned already? It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of, high competitiveness, and it's just, it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players to grow. If you had to create a soundtrack for your football journey so far, which three songs are definitely on it? Ele Dumare by Wizkid, Oju Elegba by Wizkid, Gratitude by Tope Alabi. Who is the better dancer in camp, you or Esther Nkoroko? Be honest. To be honest, I'd say I'm not really a good dancer. I just vibe to the song, and I'd say Esther is a better dancer than myself. What does being part of this Super Falcons team mean to you at this early stage of your career? It means so much. It is such a very big privilege, and I'm so excited about it because I know there's thousands of people that are also worthy to be here. But I would say Grace just brought me here, and I'm really, really grateful for it. And it's always an honor to put on the Nigeria jersey. Who is taking on that big sister role for you in camp? Always encouraging, always checking in. I feel like everyone, to be honest, because I'm the baby of the house, so I'm one of the baby of the house, and everyone has been sweet. Everyone has taken the role of a senior sister to me, and I'm grateful for every one of them for how they treat me, how they look out for the younger ones in the camp. You have one movie night with teammates. What film are you picking and why? I think I'll pick Squid Game. I'm not really a fan of movie a lot, but I've seen Squid Game, and I think I like the suspense. I like the fact that there's a little bit of horror, and everyone is just going to be on their toes. And it's going to be a fun, horrific, funny, and interesting experience. Thank you. How does it feel being here, and what have you learned already? It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of, high competitiveness, and it's just, it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players.
My name is Omorinsola Babajide. What inspired my form last season is that, well, I've been with Tenerife for 2 years, so I feel like we had a better understanding of one another and how we play. And with the new manager stepping in as well, like he was able to utilize me and like understand how I can properly like just help the team really. So that's one. After my season with Tenerife, I've been wanting like a Champions League club, so I guess that will be announced later today where I go to next. So yeah, that's all I can say really. Okay, I'm very confident that we have the ability to beat any team in this competition. We topped the group, which is what we wanted to do. So yeah, that was possible for us, and we're just taking every game as it comes. And yeah, we just need to perform to the best of our ability. We're a very strong team. Everyone knows that we're the best in Africa as well, so we just need to showcase that really, which I'm sure that we'll be able to do that. What is it called? Bayless Queens? Oh, to be fair, I don't know that one. I only really know 3. Okay, Edo Queens, Remo Stars, and what's it called? The B Queens team? I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, no, I need to pay more attention of the teams in Nigeria. But like, I see it getting bigger and bigger over social media as well, which I'm very happy to see. But yeah, I need to educate myself a little bit more on the league, which I'm sure I will. Done.
Emerging as the ultimate champions. Would it be Morocco? Would it be Nigeria? It is on a knife edge, this one. This free kick is from over 30 yards out. Long ball by Estelle Korokwa. Nigeria Super Falcons have done it! Amazing scenes! Moments of celebration from all across Nigeria, because the Super Falcons have met the criteria, and it feels like Moroccan players are sick with malaria. Nigeria have come from 2 goals down to lead by 3 goals to 0, and the moment is magical. Estelle Korokwa with the free kick. Ikenne was in the mix. And this is 3-2 for Nigeria. Mission X is on the cards. Yeah. Ikenne with the magic. Morocco 2, Nigeria 3. You don't know we. That would be Nigeria now. You can bring it. You don't know the flag right now, man. You don't know we. I cannot believe it. You don't know we. Incredible scenes. You don't know we. Millions of Nigerians around the world will be celebrating right now. This is stunning. This is stunning. Now we the go landlord house go for sure. Mission X. Now we the go landlord house go for sure. Great exhibition. So
The last game against Benin Republic, all knew it was not going to be an easy game. The information we had regarding the Beninoa team, and we also had a few challenges had to do with the release of players, arrival, travel arrangements generally, which equally accounted for, some of our players not having adequate rest. But the situation tomorrow will be different, and knowing what we know of the Beninoa team, everybody has improved now, and everybody is trying to make sure that they also give a good account of themselves. This edition takes you to the World Cup, and so we have already forgotten about the celebration of the last WAFCON, and work has started towards the next edition, because we know it's going to be tougher. The last edition, we didn't go there as champions. This time around, we are going to defend the trophy as champions. So there will be a lot of factors that we are anticipating, that will pose a lot of challenges to us, which we are also looking at and then trying to put up a plan as to how we can address some of these anticipated challenges as defending champions.
This is Mike for 54 Football X. My question is for the captain. The last time a Benin national team visited Nigeria, it was 4-0. As captain of the side, is this going to be part of your inspiration, part of your team talk to the ladies to say we can actually replicate this or even do better? Or are you ladies taking inspiration from that particular fixture that ended 4-0?
I mean, the most important thing for us is to focus on ourselves. Of course, the team that won against Benin at that time is not the same team as it is right now. And of course, we just sort of keep going with the current performance of the team. And we believe that if we replicate the things we've been doing in the previous games and probably in the last games, we'll get a better result. So that's what's more important to us. So it's not the numbers, the most important thing is for us to win. So yeah, thank you.
Come on. Go to your dressing room.
Ochi. You're welcome.
Come on. Give it. Go to your dressing room. Okay.
Kochi. You're welcome.
Come on. Give it. Go to your dressing room. Okay.
Kochi. You're welcome.
Come on. Give it. Go to your dressing room. Okay.
Kochi.
Yes. Different.
Rash. You're welcome.
Yummy. Also, babe.
And no chance for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. It's Cameroon 1, Nigeria 3. Nicely done. Threads the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side. Finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the post. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalize. And Chiwendu is has scored to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria are back in this one. Fantastic. And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Mishala Lozier to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the ball from Chiwendu his way. Cameroon won, Nigeria won.
Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left.
Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1.
That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons. And it seems like the ladies heard us. Nice interplay of passes. Jamilusi going to the left wing. You clearly could see the interconnection between the attackers. Jamilusi picking the ball, putting a cross in. He threw the Cameroonians in 5s and 6s, and he just confused the defense. A couple of hit and miss hits here and there. The ball landed on Rinsola Babajide's foot, who had that final touch to put the ball at the back of the net.
Play from Nigeria, but they have it now. Chiwendu Ezwe now with the ball. Rashidat Ajibade, ball forward, header from Michel Alozie! And how about that for a celebration? It was a wonderful cross. Deep one for Michel Alozie, who rose highest to get to the end of that. Sweet header, bottom left corner. And no chance for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. It's Cameroon 1, Nigeria 3. Nicely done. Threads the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side, finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the post. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalized. And Chiwendu has scored to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria back in this one. Fantastic. And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Michel Alozie to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the box. The header from Chiwendu Ezwe. Cameroon 1, Nigeria 1.
Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left.
Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1.
That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons. And it seems like the ladies heard us. Nice interplay of passes. Jamilusi going to the left wing. You clearly could see the interconnection between the attackers. Jamilusi picking the ball, putting a cross in. He threw the Cameroonians in 5s and 6s, and he just confused the defense. A couple of hit and miss hits here and there. The ball landed on Rinsola Babajide's foot, who had that final touch to put the ball at the back of the net.
Play from Nigeria, but they have it now. Chiwendu Ezwe now with the ball. Rashidat Ajibade, ball forward, header from Michel Alozie! And how about that for a celebration? It was a wonderful cross. Deep one for Michel Alozie, who rose highest to get to the end of that. Sweet header, bottom left corner. And no chance for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. It's Cameroon 1, Nigeria 3. Nicely done. Threads the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side, finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the post. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalized. And Chiwendu has scored to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria back in this one. Fantastic. And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Michel Alozie to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the box. The header from Chiwendu Ezwe. Cameroon 1, Nigeria 1.
Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left.
Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1.
That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons. And it seems like the ladies heard us. Nice interplay of passes. Jamilusi going to the left wing. You clearly could see the interconnection between the attackers. Jamilusi picking the ball, putting a cross in. He threw the Cameroonians in 5s and 6s, and he just confused the defense. A couple of hit and miss hits here and there. The ball landed on Rinsola Babajide's foot, who had that final touch to put the ball at the back of the net.
Play from Nigeria, but they have it now. Chiwendu Ezwe now with the ball. Rashidat Ajibade, ball forward, header from Michel Alozie! And how about that for a celebration? It was a wonderful cross.
Right.
Deep one for Michel Alozie, who rose highest to get to the end of that. Sweet header, bottom left corner. And no chance for the Cameroonian goalkeeper. It's Cameroon 1, Nigeria 3. Nicely done. Threads the ball forward. Goes to the left-hand side, finds Rinsola Babajide. She threads a long ball into the box. A chance! Oh, Nigeria equalize! And Chiwendu has scored to make it 1-1 in the 32nd minute of this game. Nigeria back in this one.
Fantastic.
And it was a fantastic piece of play from the left-hand side. It was Michel Alozie to Rinsola Babajide. A long ball into the box. The header from Chiwendu in his way. Cameroon 1, Nigeria 1.
Fantastic goal, and I just talked about that tactical switch of Oladipo to the right and Michel Alozie to the left.
Served on a plate for Rinsola Babajide as she belts one into the bottom left corner with no chance for the defender there. Nigeria 2, Cameroon 1.
That's more like it, and it's interesting because we were just talking about getting that second goal to go into halftime and what it will do for the Super Falcons. And it seems like the ladies heard us. Nice interplay of passes. Jamilisi going to the left wing. You clearly could see the interconnection between the attackers. Jamilisi picking the ball, putting a cross in. He threw the Cameroonians in 5s and 6s, and he just confused the defense. A couple of hit and miss hits here and there. The ball landed on Rinsola Babajide's foot, who had that final touch to put the ball at the back of the net.
Hello, get ready for action in every single fraction as this is your number one attraction. Let's get ready for Nigeria's Super Falcons as we're counting down just about a month away from the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. The number one women's national team in our country and on the continent are trying to put themselves in a good mood ahead of that. I know we're counting down to the World Cup, right? FIFA World Cup. However, once the World Cup is done, WAFCON will be activated later in the month of July. Welcome, my name is Chuma Noli, in here with vivxsports for all the excitement as we support this team that have been African champions 10 times in the past and are ready to go for another successful journey in Morocco, the nation that will be hosting this. It's a friendly match involving Nigeria's Super Falcons and the Lionesses of Senegal, the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal. A team that found a way to narrowly progress into the knockout rounds of WAFCON 2024 that took place last year, finishing with 3 points in their group before getting eliminated, while Nigeria's Super Falcons went all the way to win the title after all said and done, beating Morocco, the host, in the grand finale. So we're just not too far away from kickoff. We are less than 10 minutes away from that, and we do have the starting XI for you. I'll just get into that starting 11, but just to remind you that if you're watching us for the very first time as vivxsports, every time there's a high-profile live sporting event beyond football, we're here for you, all right? So please just click on that subscribe button. If you stumbled on this, it's not a mistake. I think it's destiny, letting you in on the fact that there's excitement with this fantastic brand. So just click on that subscribe button and please feel free to also turn on your notifications because we have so much to come. Friendly matches for Nigeria Super Eagles on the cards, the World Cup itself, and then the WAFCON immediately after that very one. Well, let's look at the names on the cards for Nigeria Super Falcons. The game will take place at the stadium where Remo Stars, former champions of the Nigeria Premier Football League, play their home matches in Ikenne. That stadium has hosted a bit of women's football lately. They hosted the under-17 national team just a few weeks back, and they're doing this now for the Super Falcons. So that's the starting XI. This goalkeeper who has come into the mix, having a huge privilege for herself to be in there, perhaps fighting for a place as a starter goalkeeper. Harbour, one of those beautiful ladies, getting people talking on social media. There's a Buna in that team to Oladipo Tony Payne, who's been around for a while, Asisa Toshola, multiple-time African Women's Footballer of the Year, Ijami Lucy, a youngster who had a great time at the WAFCON that took place last year, Christy Uchebe, there's also Demehin in there too, Rashidat Ajibade, the captain of the side, and she's, you know, in charge, quite a young captain in her mid-20s at this stage, Francesca Odega, and also Isa. That it's a mixed blend of young talents and experienced ones like Odega and Asisa Toshola, the other folks, Tony Payne too, the younger ones, and Habor and Ijami Lucy and the coach of this side, of course, is a man who's tried to build a good reputation for himself. Thought he should have won the CAF Women's Coach of the Year award last year, but they gave it to somebody else. However, he's building this Nigerian contingent into becoming heavyweights, and we know that the next WAFCON is very important. Beyond emerging as African champions, the 4 best teams, the teams that get to the semi-final stage of that competition, will be getting automatic slots to represent Africa at the FIFA Women's World Cup for 2027. So this is serious business, and it's important we prepare for serious business as seriously as we can too. Well, just about 3 months back in the month of March, then we thought the WAFCON would take place in March because it should have happened in March, and then they had to postpone it because of 1 or 2 issues for Morocco, who were hosting footballing tournaments and footballing matches aplenty. Nigeria had played a couple of friendly matches against their Cameroonian counterparts, Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon, and Nigeria lost the first of those 2-legged friendly fixtures by a goal to nothing before going on to win the next one by 3-1. Now we have another double header against Senegal, one today, and then there will be another one on Monday. Senegalese themselves still do have some points to prove. In the women's game, they're not the best on the continent. In the men's game, they can beat their chest and say, they are good like that. In A-grade football, too, we've seen them prove their mettle. Of course, they still believe they are African champions, in men's football, that is, despite the fact that CAF awarded that to Morocco 3 months after that AFCON final in January. The case is still in CAS, that's with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. So Senegal will be hoping that the ruling goes in their favor, because on the pitch they won, but a few irregularities during the course of that game led to that being given to Morocco. But that's not the same story for women's football for Senegal. They're not on the same pedestal with Nigeria's Super Falcons, who have conquered the continent 10 times in the past. So this is a dicey and exciting game on the cards, and surely for Senegal a chance to also prove that their women's game has come of age. They can write for themselves on a brand new page, and who knows, avoid any form of outrage at the end of this. Drop your comments if you can via the comment section. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, and I will be reading those comments of yours. What do you think will be the final score of this match? Let me know how far now. I would like to read your comments. Just drop it there. Would it be 2-1 success for Nigeria, 1-0? Are we going to flog these Senegalese ladies by like 4-0 or something like that? I sure would like to get your thoughts on that. And also, how confident are you that we can conquer Africa again, seeing how narrowly our win against Morocco came in 2025? They were leading us by 2-0. We had to come from behind to eventually win that title number 10 for us, which the guys in Spain will call La Decima. So how confident are you with this national team of ours now that they can conquer Africa one more time? I'll be keen to get that from you for sure. In a bit, I'll also touch on the starting exercise for the Senegalese setup. We'll be picking calls to you. I'd like to feel your pulse, so I'd love to pick your calls. That's the number on your screen. I would not mind having to screen through those calls of yours and getting your thoughts, because I know many of you are watching us from even beyond the shores of Nigeria. So let me know where you're watching us from. Ogun State, Port Harcourt, Calabar, Abuja, here in Lagos, VI, Ikoyi, UK, Canada, wherever it is, let us know. Senegal too, just drop it on the comment section if you don't mind. Let us know where you're watching us from, and I sure will be giving you some shout outs on the broadcast today. All right, so after this for Nigeria, there will be, of course, even more excitement to come, because our ladies will go back and then mentally start preparing for the WAFCON. There was a bit of uproar in certain parts of Nigeria, especially in the football community, that the Nigeria Football Federation may not have done enough, because just a few weeks back, we saw some women's national teams, even from Africa, playing high-profile friendly matches against the creme de la creme of women's national teams on earth. Nigeria did not have that privilege, and people were saying, NFF, how far now? These ladies are African champions. Respect them. The same way you organize friendly matches for the Super Eagles, ensure that these ladies have friendly matches back-to-back. So it's good to see them back, getting ready for a game. Good thing for Senegal is the fact that they will be in a WAFCON competition where they would have a group that they will have to work hard enough to get out from. And for Nigeria too, we do have our own fair share of stories when it comes to the WAFCON. We beat Zambia by 4-0 in the quarterfinal stage of WAFCON 2024 that took place last year, before getting the better of South Africa narrowly and then beating Morocco in that final. Now, for this other WAFCON, as you see the starting XI for Senegal, fire in the mix there. There's Sane, not Leroy this time around. Fall, Kande, Dembele, not Ousmane, Sanya, but not Bakari. It's just beautiful, really. Even the ladies have those names that are similar to some of those popular names, in men's football from years back. Diakate, there's also a couple of falls in that setup. And there's Mbengwe alongside Ndiaye and Diop also in the starting XI for the West African nation, Senegal. And it's beautiful. You guys are coming through your calls. Let's feel your pulse. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay, my neighbor? There's something like that. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Duru Chima calling from Imo State to Worry.
Oh, wow. Kedu? Fantastic stuff. Nice to have you join us from Imo State. So, what are your expectations for this game today, if you don't mind?
Well, definitely I'm expecting our girls to actually prove to us that they are ready to go to the World Cup. And so the preparation starts now. But I'm also not impressed with some of the players being invited. I was thinking, yes. I was thinking maybe some of these players are the ones not invited, because there are some old players that are there which I'm still surprised why they were being called up. Well, everything is up to the coach. We just hope that his plans and tactics that he's bringing to this present Super Falcons should be what it takes for us to get to the World Cup, because you know what it means. Nigeria not going to the World Cup, both for the male and for the female. So we shouldn't take things for granted. Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Salute all the way from Lagos to Imo State, where you're calling us from. We appreciate you 100%. Yeah, indeed, he's right, because the men's national team will not be at the World Cup, so the women certainly have to be at that one next year. And the last time we were at the World Cup under the tutelage of Randy Waldrum, we also had a great showing there, holding our own against Olympic champions at that time, Canada, and qualifying out of our group into the next round, narrowly losing to England, who turned out to be finalists of that competition. We narrowly lost to England through penalty kicks in the second round. So surely we do have a good team, and you think that we should be able to build on that success of 3 years ago. Now we're moving on to another WAFCON. All right, beautiful stuff. Just wanting to get myself ready to reading your comments and your thoughts, because you guys are dropping them already. Nice one, Chika Olisem. Thank you so much, Chika. Chika says Chika is watching us from Lebanon. Oh, wow. Ambulance. That's nice. Olai Wala Rashid is watching us from Ekiti State. Nice. Cool stuff, man. Well done. Christian is also speaking to me and says, you guys sharing the match. Let's get to a few more of those thoughts. Can the Super Falcons win the AFCON? That's our question. So you can respond to that. By the way, you can vote. We've had over 151 votes so far. You can also vote. Do you think the Super Falcons will win WAFCON 2026? The caller from Imo State was telling me he was not too impressed with our team. He feels that there's a bit more quality that team should have. What do you think? All right. So Lifting One says, Omo is Ajibade single. The girl is cute. I like her, Sha. LOL. This guy, change your ways. Change your ways. Well, I get you. Yeah, she is actually a beautiful lady, and officially she's not married. So I don't know if she's in a relationship, but officially she's not married. So maybe you have a chance. Maybe. All right, Stella. Ogunma is also speaking to us and says, babes, you people should make us proud. I'm very proud of you all. I'm still rewatching the WAFCON finals between you and Morocco women. I keep smiling each time. Nice. Yeah, cool. Now we have even more calls. This one is with the +44 number. I suspect you're calling us from the UK. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, bro.
Yes, good afternoon. Hope you're okay in the UK.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm watching you from right here from Plymouth City, England.
Fantastic. What's your name, please?
Andrew Odegun.
Beautiful. Great to hear from you, Andrew. So, Andrew, how much of the Super Falcons you like following, man?
I like following all of them. I like all of them, I've been trying to make a registration there in the morning, but I were invited. So I was trying to search other sports stations they will show you, but I was surprised that people are showing it now. I hope we'll be showing it live for all to see.
Keep watching us and you'll find out.
I was okay. I just hope so. So I'm sitting in my living room.
Thank you.
Trying to watch
so
and
much.
see how best they can do.
Please subscribe to our channel. Please, like I said, if you just stumbled on this, I can beat my chest and tell you that we always are in to positively rumble, ensuring you don't have any cause to grumble, because we're too humble to fumble, as the case is. All right, so please just click on that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel, and trust me, you'll be grateful that you did, because we'll be carrying you along all the way as far as all of these major football competitions are concerned, and of course we got other high-profile sporting events as well. vivxsports, that's what we are, and we're exporting the very best of sports to you, to any part of the world that you happen to find yourself in. Lawrence Ume is speaking and says, what time is the game? The game is scheduled for 4 p.m. But you know how it is with these friendly matches, sometimes we will not be on the dots. You get just a few minutes of arranging things. That's how it works. And our Super Falcons will win it for the 11th time. That's from K-Sax Music 9736. Thank you so much, K-Sax Music. Nice one. This one says, watching from Lomé, Togo, West Africa, wishing our ladies success. And it's from Leslie Ache. I think that's a Nigerian who's based in Togo, Lomé to be precise. Nice. I think our ladies are set to go, to the WAFCON and win the title in that territory as well. Keep the thoughts pouring in if you can. I can see so many messages. I'll read as many of them as I can, and of course you can also call in to have your say on this. Well, because they are using this to prepare for the WAFCON, I had mentioned to you that it's a beautiful feeling having Nigeria prepare for the WAFCON. Senegal happen to find themselves in the same group for this competition, WAFCON 2026, with Morocco, Algeria and Kenya. So that's Senegal's group, and that's Group A for them. And we know that Nigeria beat Morocco in the last final. So if they can do well enough against Nigeria Super Falcons, it could just give them some confidence that they can hold their own against the host of the next WAFCON. That's Morocco. For Nigeria Super Falcons, well, they are in Group C of the tournament, and they happen to find themselves in the same setup with Zambia, Egypt and Malawi. Zambia, Egypt and Malawi, the teams in the same group with the Super Falcons. I told you a bit earlier that Nigeria Super Falcons had beaten Zambia's ladies by 4-0 in what that was like a quarterfinal stage of WAFCON 2024 that took place last year. So you think that on paper we should be able to go through that group, and that's why it's important we prove our mettle in these friendly matches and just have the right synergy that will exude energy when the tournament itself starts. And it's just been back-to-back games against teams in West Africa and Central Africa. The other time, 2 matches against Cameroon. We lost the first of the 2 games by 1-0 before beating the Cameroonians by 3-1 in the next one. And now we're up against the brilliance of Senegal. This is part 1. Part 2 will take place surely, magically, on Monday. Well, let's get back to more of your calls. Just having a bit of clips from that territory to give you an idea of what things look like. Yeah, that's the young lady, Jamie Lucy. She's known with that hair of hers. It's a unique hairdo. Trying to take some water so I don't have cause to start our chairs. Cheers. First game for Nigeria in the WAFCON, just to put that date straight, will be a game against Malawi, and that will be on the 27th of July. So it's big business for the Super Falcons, and this is that chance surely to get themselves into the groove for that. Let's just look at the head-to-head record for Senegal, shall we, in their recent matches, because they've had their own fair share of games that they've played. Not too many, just like the Super Falcons, they've not played too many, but they've played a few of these friendly matches lately, and I think it's important to know what's up with them. How far Senegal to us, yeah, I'm gonna have a girl with me shortly, beautiful lady for that matter, will be with me here shortly. But yeah, for Senegal, they played a friendly game against they played matches against South Africa, Morocco lately. They were held by a goalless draw. Do I say they held South Africa to a goalless draw the other time? Okay, and of course we also saw them lose to Morocco by 1-0. They lost to Zambia by 3-2 and beat Algeria by 3-0. Just to give you an idea of the matches that their most recent results in games that they have played, that is for Senegal. They really do have this topsy-turvy reality around them as far as matches are concerned. My guys are just trying to ensure that we can get the groove of the live action for you. All right, just to get things going. Yeah, we are trying to get the right connection to ensure that we get that feed coming your way. The game has kicked off officially now, and we're just trying to get the right connections to come through with the feed for you, as I will be here to describe all the drama for you as it unfolds, of course. And this lineup for Senegal really gets me thinking, man, because they're not the most popular names in the world. When you talk about big names in women's football, not just in Africa but globally too, you will mention Asisat Oshoala, surely, and that's a pleasure Nigeria has. You have to mention Rashida Ajibade, who's proven her mettle, playing in Spain over the years, and you mention our goalkeeper Chiamaka Nadozie, who won the award as goalkeeper of the year for 2025 in the CAF Awards when that ceremony took place towards the end of last year. This day she plays in the Women's Super League in England. So that's the magic around the place. Surprisingly for me, really, I had not seen Nadozie's name in that Nigerian starting XI, and surprising because many of them had come through. They were training together. It was a mixed blend of players who joined the Nigerian contingent and were training together for this. The stories were all over the place as to the players being hungry enough. In fact, Rashidat Ajibade's senior colleague, Asisat Oshoala, was one of the first players to arrive in the Nigerian camp for this game, and she had been there very early on. She's a lady who's played everywhere for high-profile teams everywhere, has won the Women's Champions League title with Barcelona, and these days is chopping some good money in Saudi, territory that is not rowdy. For sure. Coach Justin Madugu is also trying to set up the team to lead them to win a second consecutive Women's Africa Cup of Nations title. That victory last year was our first African title since 2018 when we had beaten South Africa via penalty kicks. So we shouldn't take these things for granted, because it's not like it's a birthright to be crowned African champions every single time. We're just trying to ensure that we get the right connection to that game. Stay with us. You're going to have a chance, hopefully, to see pictures as we progress. And I do have my colleague and counterpart who's in the mix to ensure that together we carry along all the way as far as describing this game is concerned, with pulsating stuff coming from Ikenne, the Remo Star Stadium, where it's Nigeria Super Falcons locking horns with the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal. This lady is like a queen in her own right. That's just what the stadium looks like. Again, naturally, when these things do happen, you don't have enough of fans in the stands, but those in Ikenne are coming through. They surely want to give the Super Falcons all the support they can give them on an auspicious occasion as this. Sure can say hi to this delectable lady. She's delectable. I should get her collectible. She's quintessential, and so you meeting her is very essential. She has the right credentials really to be on vivxsports today. The one, the only. Euphoria is in this area. What's up now with you around the place? I cannot be sick with malaria, what's up? How you doing?
Chuma. It's been a while.
It has.
It's been a while we've been on the mic together, and of course I miss you anyway. I miss you anyway. Well, we're back here, of course, in the Niger spirit, because I'm sporting a Nigerian jersey. Not what the ladies are wearing, but of course it's a Nigerian jersey, and that's because we're having the ladies play for the first time this year, for the first time since October, if I'm not mistaken. The last time they played was October.
I think about that Cameroon game.
Yes, that was not Cameroon. That was the game they played was in Abeokuta actually.
Okay.
So it was a qualifier for the.
They now travel to Cameroon to play those two-legged friendlies in March.
So the last one they played at home in Nigeria was in October, and then the next ones we'll say then was Cameroon. But for the Nigerian fans who are currently in Ikenne, because I'm very sure that people in Ikenne will turn out for the ladies. Maybe not in number like what we saw in Abeokuta in October, but this is the first set of friendlies we'll see before they will be going out again to defend their title. They've defended it a lot of times, and this time again they'll be going out to defend the title they won last year, July, in Morocco, in that same country. And it's best that they face top oppositions like this. The Teranga Lions will also be playing in that particular showdown, grouped in Group A. It's kind of a very funny script, because they will be playing against now rivals Morocco, because all of a sudden there's now a rivalry between Senegal and Morocco. We saw them in the under-17 AFCON in the semi-final. We saw them in the men's AFCON in the finals, and the draw for this particular WAFCON that will be happening from the 25th of July was done a day before the final, so no one knew what was going to happen in that final that will eventually turn them to rivals. But they are getting ready, because the last time they also played Morocco in the WAFCON, lost the game by a goal to nil. So they are trying to meet up in standard of playing the top guns, and you would expect that this is one game they'll also be looking to actually get something away from the Super Falcons. And the Super Falcons, I mean, there's bragging rights there. There's the fact that this is the first set of friendlies that have actually come to pass, because every other one that has been coming, there's always been one story or the other. So it's really, really important that the Super Falcons also take this very, very seriously today, and of course the one that will be coming up on Monday against the same Senegalese Teranga Lionesses. So yes, it's really, really great to be here. It's great to see the ladies play again. Miss them. Not everyone that we saw in Morocco is there, but I mean, many of the faces that were there to win gold for Nigeria for the 10th time are there, and a lot of them are actually starting in this particular encounter. We're seeing new faces too, new names. Obviously, we're seeing names like Comfort starting in goal instead of Nadozie, but you understand that Madugo is also trying to get to test some of those names that he will be expecting to come in for Nadozie should anything happen as they go into the big one, because this WAFCON, unlike the others we've seen in previous years, is also going to be, or in the previous year, sorry, it's also going to be the qualifier for the Women's World Cup that will be coming down summer next year in Brazil. So everybody is ensuring that no stone is left untouched. That is why a country like Senegal is also agreeing to play a top gun like Nigeria. Everyone knows that, okay, you need to get ready, sharpen your weapons as you go into Morocco, because the best four will automatically be going to Morocco, going to Brazil in 2027, and then of course the fifth ranked nation in that tournament will be playing in the intercontinental playoff, which I don't like to hear, by the way, judging by the last time we can count or we played in something Super like Eagles. That Super Eagles. But yes, I'm sure that this is something that the Super Falcons will also be looking to get easily, because I don't think that there's no World Cup that has been played since the Women's World Cup started that we've not qualified for. So we want this to be our first. So you obviously understand how important this WAFCON would be to us to come next year and come next month. I beg your pardon. Yeah.
And it's also very important too that we carry along all the way. By the way, I'm looking like this is the most corporate I've ever come into the studio. You know, and I'm wondering. I just came from a meeting. I just had to come here straight away for this. But I'm sure you've seen that on our pinned post on YouTube. A bit of apologies, some logistical challenges. But we're trying to get the right connection to bring to you the action from Ikenne, while we also stay here to describe the drama for you. So apologies for that. Our guys, our technical guys, are trying to ensure that that's sorted, and so we can carry along. And of course, I'm seeing a few of these comments too. They're making me smile. You know anything about the reality in this part of the world? And I'm sure you know that already, because if you did not know that, I'm sure you would have found somewhere else to watch it, but you would not see anywhere else to watch it. So that's the reality. So be calm, guys. Take it easy, all right? Maybe I should play some Remo song for you right now. Baby, calm down. Just calm down as we try to get the right connections to ensure that we carry along as far as the game is concerned. Well, it's still Nigeria against Senegal. No goal scored yet at this moment, and once we get that feed, you'll be the first to see it, because you're going to see that on your screen, while I and Euphoria remain here to paint that picture for you. So while that's happening, you can also call in, just share your predictions with us and your expectations. And please don't call in to tell me why you're not showing the game, because I just explained that to you now, all right? So when you call in, let me know what your expectations are for the match. And of course, if you're fine enough with the starting XI put together by Coach Madugu for this friendly fixture. And you know, really, I know that there's some African countries that had the pleasure of playing intercontinental friendly matches. You know, African nations are playing teams like England and Spain and played
Australia in the summer series, or sorry, the first series that happened this year. Summer series is going to happen later on. It was really heartbreaking for a lot of Nigerian fans seeing that countries that do not measure up to us in the country, we are always going to be the queens of Africa. I mean, no one comes close. 10 continental titles, and of course a representation at every World Cup ever played for the women, and you are not getting the right set of friendlies. You saw countries like Ghana that will just be returning to the WAFCON after missing on for a couple of editions, getting to play top friendlies against countries like the current defending champions of Europe, talking about the three Lionesses. Also got them to play there. So African countries play countries like Brazil, all of these countries that they will be hoping to meet at the World Cup next year should they qualify when they go into the WAFCON, which is going to be the first set of tests for them. I mean, you have to qualify after getting good results at the WAFCON before you even think of playing the World Cup. But I mean, that is some of the kind of countries that were scheduled. We had our own also scheduled, but I mean, a lot of fans believe that some of these countries were obviously a lot of reputations for us. We started hearing names like Cameroon before they pulled out. We eventually heard that, okay, we're going to play Togo, and then that didn't work out. We also finally got Jamaica again, and that didn't work out, and it was looking like a joke at some point. I mean, with the ladies, and you could see some of the ladies even come out. Ladies like the captain of the side, Rasheedat Ajibade. You could see players like Ashley Plumter. You could see players like Rinsola Babajide also coming out to voice their displeasure about the way that the national team, the women's national team, who are the most successful national team in Africa, by the way, both men and women, no any other country has won as many continental titles as the Super Falcons of Nigeria. The closest to them is Egypt, and they do not have double digits. So you could, definitely. So it was really, really very, very painful to see the ladies having to come out to voice their displeasure, and the fans were really, really mad at that. But again, it's some of the things that, I'm not excusing it, I'm just saying that some of the things that we always encounter going into a major tournament happen the same time, same way it happens now when we went into that charge for Mission X as it was tagged then. But the ladies showing resilience that, okay, this is the Nigeria spirit, they are always doing that, and maybe that is why the administrators who are always in charge of getting these friendlies for them, getting not just the friendlies but the preparation, because someone actually pointed during their camp pictures being released from training 2 days ago that they are still wearing old kits, while the Super Eagles, who are playing very, very wonderful friendlies wherever they are currently, are getting the latest kits by the sponsor of the Super Eagles when it concerns kitting them in Nike. The Super Falcons, who are the most successful national team in the country, on the continent, are still wearing old kits to train. Also, we are going to get to see them too. I mean, it is just not what you expect for a country that gets the ladies to represent them well, the way they treat them, the way they handle everything about them. Logistics is always an issue. We saw that during the WAFCON, where they got their kits very, very late. Their training kits came semi-finals when they were going to play South Africa. It's just a lot of drama. But the ladies, despite all of that, went on to win in a very dramatic fashion, by the way, against the host nation. Despite going 2 goals down in the first half, we were able to grind out a result in regular time, not only waiting until penalties, and getting that 10th title. So it is something that is always going to come up, but I hope that we don't abuse this, because it's always working for them. I'm saying them because the ladies deserve better. Definitely, they are always doing that, and the ladies who just, okay, we are Nigerians, let's fight for the badge and let's do that. But if we continue to do it, I'm just hoping this is not going to be the edition that ladies will actually not turn up, because it's going to be really painful, because this is the time we're supposed to qualify for the World Cup. It was not like the last edition that it was not going to mean anything major. I mean, the last one in 2022 in Morocco, we finished 4th. That definitely meant we were qualifying for the 2023 World Cup. The last time we played in Morocco again in 2025, that was not going to mean anything apart from the title, because it was not the qualification route to the World Cup. But now, another qualification route to the World Cup, and if the ladies don't turn up, I do not really think that a lot of people will blame them, but you also don't want, I mean, we are missing out on the Men's World Cup. A lot of people are already groaning.
Somebody actually sent a message and called in and said to him, 23 minutes have been played so far, and it's still Nigeria nil, Senegal nil. Like I mentioned, I'm being basically why you see me looking through my devices, getting updates from our guys who are consistently talking about the fact that they're trying to get the connection right, to ensure that we can bring you up to speed with the drama as it unfolds in Ikenne. Well, just to look at again the quality of what these two sides have in the starting exercise. Earlier I shared with you the cumulative list of players, but as to the starters now, and Euphoria mentioned that Chiamaka Nnadozie, the best women's goalkeeper in Africa, is not in between the sticks in this fixture. In fact, she's on the bench, could be introduced later, but the lady who has the privilege of starting is a Harbour, who actually starts in goal for us. And then there's the captain of the side, Rasheedat Ajibade. There's Demehini in there too, Ijami Lucy, Isa, Oguna, Oladipo, Odega, Oshola. There's also Tony Payne and Ucheibe. It just looks like it's a mixed blend of experience and youth. But we had somebody who called in from Imo State who was saying, come on now, our team should be better than this. I don't know what you make of this, Euphoria. You who's followed this team, and you were in Morocco last year to cover this WAFCON.
Well, I really do not want to point fingers yet. I think it's maybe judging from the way friendlies were, the names we saw during friendlies and the name that eventually went for the WAFCON, where we started seeing names that we did not know, or many fans did not know. Let me not say because I followed the girls, followed the game, and you expect certain names to come up at some point in time. But I'm sure that some of the names that people are pointing fingers to are names that they believe should have retired by now, judging by the fact that they only appear when it's time for tournaments in the team and not during maybe other friendlies or qualifiers like other players who play. But you also have to excuse the fact that some of the mainstay in the starting 11 are out to injury. Players like Ashley Plumter is not available. Players like the assist queen herself, Esther Krumpo, is also not available due to injury. We're also not seeing her bestie in Alozie, also not in this particular friendly team. Of course, we are hoping that they'll all be back in time before it's time for the list, for the WAFCON list to be dropped, so that they can make it, because obviously we know how instrumental they were for us winning that last WAFCON. And every time we are called upon, you always rest assured knowing that this lady is definitely, and also she has been on insane form since that particular time. Went on to help her team win 2 trophies back there in AFC Toronto, got her contract renewed before the start of this new season. Started the new season on a very strong foot, getting contributions to goal and assist already before she got that unfortunate injury that's kept her out for some couple of weeks now, and hoping, I really hope that she's back in time for the WAFCON. But you will expect that, yes, Madugu will have to also spread his nest to be able to bring up names. We could see that players like Almatu Ainde, who was expected to be in this team, did not make it and was replaced late on by a player who played for Nasarawa Amazons last season but now plies her trade in Israel, in Josephine, that played for Nasarawa United last season. So you expect, I really don't want to judge with this until it's time for us to go to the WAFCON, because at the end of the day, not everyone, no one believed that a player who is currently back to the team, by the way, Gift Monday, would miss the WAFCON list. Definitely. So I would not judge with this, but a lot of our players are still there. Maybe many of them are not starting. The likes of Nadozie is on the bench, the likes of Azato Shola herself on the bench, the likes of Echejin is on the bench, Babajide is on the bench. So I understand where this is coming from, but at the same time, it's not as if he went too far in terms of the number of regulars that we are used to, and also the number of ladies who we expect to actually make the team going to Morocco next month. So maybe injury should be part of the excuses for him. Also the fact that he needs to test certain girls and the likes of Comfort, who is in between the sticks now.
It's for post-morts in England,
Definitely, and she has been making the team recently, so it's good for her to face a top opposition like Senegal, who despite not being at par with us, are definitely not pushovers on the African scene right now. They've beaten teams like Algeria, who sometimes give us issues when it concerns, we faced them last year. We didn't beat them in Morocco. We played a draw at the end of the day against Algeria, but they beat Algeria comfortably by 4-0. They got to the next stage of the competition, that's the quarterfinals, talking about Senegal, but lost on penalties to South Africa after a goalless draw. So they were able to hold the defending champions back then to a goalless draw after penalties. That was when they lost 4-2. So you understand that it's also important for players like Comfort to be able to face top opposition, and of course face players like Ndiaye, who is the top goal scorer for Senegal, and other names like that, which she might most likely be facing if she makes that team to Morocco. Yes, to Morocco in July. So I don't think we should be all about that. Our own issues now should be, after this set of friendlies, we should also be getting other 2 friendlies before the WAFCON, because it's still a month, and we should be getting at least 2 more friendlies before the girls will be able to go full time into defending their championship that they won last year, July.
So in the first half in that game, no goals still scored by Nigeria and Senegal. The two nations are, battling for who will have a bit of supremacy, and just having to juxtapose this one with when the Super Falcons were in action, building up to the match, supposed kickoff date at that time for the WAFCON. Nigeria had lost the first of the 2 friendly games to Cameroon by 1-0 before going on to win the next one by 3-1. So sometimes the Super Falcons can be perhaps a bit slow in their starting phase with these friendly matches. little wonder no goals have been scored at this time between the two national teams. We are still trying to ensure that we just get the signals, and if we cannot, I sure will let you in on it, all right, to clarify that for sure. And if you enjoyed our coverage of the Super Falcons and Super Eagles game just a few days back, we did not broadcast that game but still brought to you live commentary for this one. We had to put things together already to ensure that we do have live pictures from the game, but there's the technical challenge at the moment, and it's still being worked upon as I speak to you. Over half an hour of football played in Ikenne at the Remo Stars Stadium, and it's still Nigeria Super Falcons nil, Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon nil. And for these teams, I don't know of Senegal, pardon me, the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal. They are all lionesses around the place, and it'll just confuse your head sometimes. We like to play lionesses. I don't know, Super Falcons, Lionesses of Cameroon, now Lionesses of Senegal.
I mean, the lion is the king of the floor, or king of mammals, and the eagle is the king of the bird. So you understand that there's always going to be that. Who wins? I think the the king of the sky always have the advantage. Area advantage.
When you go face Lionesses of England, 3 Lionesses of England.
I mean, they didn't beat us in regular time in the last World Cup now.
Is it because
it was on penalties? We lost on penalties.
Against one
we lost on penalties. We bowled them and lost on penalties, please. No way those girls are going to get anything over me.
I was going to say that, I don't know how Nigeria prepares Senegal for the WAFCON, because Nigeria is a West African nation like themselves.
Yeah.
And in the WAFCON, Senegal have Algeria and Morocco to play. North African teams. What's the correlation between playing Nigeria in a friendly match, knowing that you have North African teams? I prefer North African teams to play in the WAFCON.
I mean, obviously you have to beat the best to be able to play against the best. Nigeria is definitely the best. There's no any other country that compare. I mean, they are playing countries like Algeria, Morocco. All these countries have not won the WAFCON once in their history. And you are playing against someone that has won it 10 times. You are also playing against someone who knows how to play Morocco. I mean, yes, we played them in 2022, lost to them, but we could definitely give excuses for Nigeria, saying that we got 2 red cards in that game in normal time and it lost by a slim margin. And then when we got our chance to play them man to man, woman to woman, by the way, we got our pound of flesh right in front of their fans there in the final and denied them for a second consecutive time that particular time. So you understand that they also believe that yes, they are going to play North African sides, but they actually need to play the best of the best if they want to compete against the North African sides. The North African sides are good, yes. Morocco, I will not take anything away from them. Going to back-to-back finals is no mean feat, despite anything anyone wants to say. You actually have to play some level of very good football to be able to get into the finals, and they've gotten to consecutive finals. So yeah, it's going to be really important for them. I mean, in terms of test of character when they play Nigeria today and again on Monday. Yes, they are starting with this line. I want to see the lineup that will come up on Monday. I think this is just the coach still trying to rest some players that came in to camp maybe later on. I don't know why he's not starting his main starters, but again, he's a coach, I'm not. But on Monday, after playing them today, maybe the next one we're going to see a different lineup, and then they'll be able to play against the main starters, because many of the players that are playing here are not starters. I'm sorry to say, but even Christy, who is one of the mainstays in the team, is not a starter. So you have to play some of those players that you will play in Morocco if you mistakenly get to meet them in the knockout phase, because definitely you're not meeting us in the group stage. So yes, you have to. So I understand why they want to play a team like Nigeria, and it's, I mean, for them, I know in their country they'll be all about, oh my God, we're playing the Super Falcons and all of that, because it means it's just similar to saying that, okay, if the Super Eagles right now get a friendly to play Brazil, the most successful country in the world, it's something similar to that. When it concerns pedigree, that's how other African nations view the Super Falcons. And
great news for Nigeria Super Falcons. They have scored a goal against Senegal. They lead by 1-0, and a bit of talk around the potential sport kick that led to the goal for the Nigerian side. And well, again, they sure have to step up in a game like this one with the goals, and they have just stepped up midway into the first 45 minutes of action to take the advantage and have the lead over Senegal. 1-0 as things stand. That should paint the picture even clearer for you as more information gets to my table in the coming seconds. But 1-0 for Nigeria, and not a bad place to start from.
Not a bad place to start, but unfortunately we are not getting to see footage of how the game is going yet, and I'm trying to understand why it is Oshuala that is taking that spot kick, which means she has been brought on in the first half.
Yeah, she was actually, you know, looking at that starting XI. Was she there initially when
she
I
wasn't
mentioned?
there initially.
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she was?
She was, yeah. So she was starting XI from the start.
Oh, okay.
That, yeah.
Starting, obviously. And then I saw from people who are watching it at the stadium saying that she missed a sitter earlier. But you can definitely trust on her when it concerns getting into moments of pressure. I mean, if she misses a sitter, she should not be missing a penalty. She is one of the most trusted players on that team. Yeah. And seeing that she's coming back from Saudi Arabia after having a stellar season, I mean, she has found her rhythm again when it concerns playing regularly. When she was in the US playing for Bay Area, she was not really getting much of playing time due to the number of injuries she got at some point. Also seeing that she lost her starting place in the team, and then she came for the WAFCON, obviously lost her place again, came back and wasn't able to get much playing time too, and she knew she had to leave. She knew she had to go to a place where she had to get regular playing time. She would still be in the good books of the coach, because no matter how big a player you are, you actually have to be a regular starter for your team, or at least get playing time in that team to be able to allow the coach to be able to monitor your performance week in, week out. And then she moved to Saudi Arabia, went on to become the highest goal scorer in the Saudi Arabia Women's FA Cup, had a very beautiful season when it concerns the regular season too, was always banging in the goals week in, week out for Al Hilal, where she plays for. So yes, when it concerns pressure, I don't think this is one player that would shy away from it. She has been in the spotlight for the longest time in her career. So yes, expecting her to take on that spot kick. Although Ajibade is on the pitch and Ajibade gets to take a lot of our penalties, but I understand why Oshuala would be given that mantle in this game. Also, it's a friendly, so I don't think all these things will really count in that particular one. But yeah, we're in front right now, and a very good boost for the girls going into the second half, because it's almost done in this half already.
Yeah, and this message coming in from Abby's Boy 2140 says not possible to have friendly matches outside the FIFA window. So after the next friendly on Monday, that's it, no more friendlies until the WAFCON.
Yeah, they would not get friendlies for the FIFA window, obviously, but when they are called up into camp, the players will spend like 6 to 10 days in camp most times. That's how international events happen. I mean, the World Cup is going to happen next week, and we can see that countries in Africa already playing friendly games against top countries. We saw Ivory Coast play against France and beat France yesterday. We saw Algeria beat the Netherlands. So yes, that period when they're in camp, there's always going to be friendlies. Those are the friendlies I'm talking about. Not even, I obviously know that we've lost our chance of getting them adequate number of friendlies as we should have, when we missed all those chances of playing countries like Jamaica, like Togo, and then get the players like the captain of the side to complain. You obviously know that we're already in soup, but I mean, like I said, we always find a way to get things done. So yes, this set of friendlies are the ones we get to see them in the country and the final chance to see them, but the next one will be the ones they will do when they're in camp. I don't know if they're going to be camping in Morocco from the get-go before the tournament starts, because some countries get to camp in that host country, some countries get to camp in another place. I think when we were going to Morocco last year, we camped in Austria first before we now went to Morocco for the start of the event. So it is always like that. You're not getting that window, you've lost your chance, but there's always a loophole in that particular one, which is what I'm expecting that the NFF would be very quick to. I mean, and when you are getting those friendlies, because the window is obviously closed for people of within Africa, also outside Africa, you can definitely get people who will be playing in the WAFCON, like Senegal. You're already playing Senegal, so you're not going to play Senegal again as the next set of friendlies. You should be looking at playing other WAFCON participating countries in those friendlies before the WAFCON. Those few days window you get before the WAFCON, those are the countries that you need to test. Maybe test South Africa, obviously your the ones that want to become arch rivals with you, but not in that level yet. You also want to test countries like Morocco, who definitely you've met back-to-back editions, maybe try them the third time before we most likely meet them in the competition, because we are in two different separate halves of the draw, and it's very possible that we get to meet them at in the knockouts if they get to go far, also if we do go far. So yes, those are the countries that you should be looking at playing during those friendlies. So those are the friendlies I'm talking about. Yes, I know that we don't have any other window for friendlies.
And of course, the Senegalese ladies have shown that they can score goals in the past. We saw them score twice against Zambia in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations last year. That game ended in a draw, and then they went on to score 4 against Algeria also in that tournament. And sometimes they can be stringent in defense, narrow defeats here and there. 1-0 against Morocco, and the goal extra against South Africa in the round of the knockout rounds before they got eliminated.
Yeah, they score goals when they want to score goals, and then they can be really very stubborn when they want to be stubborn. So that game against Zambia in the group stage of the last WAFCON ended 3-2. It was end-to-end stuff. Zambia scored their own back. And that's how it was going until Zambia eventually narrowly grinded out that win, 3-2 in that game. So it was one of the top games of the group stage. Barbara Banda having to turn up, Momanji also having to turn up because nobody was ready to lose to Senegal. But that is just to show you that they can go head to head with the top guns in African football. Definitely Zambia is one of those countries when it concerns African football that you always want to listen to. A country that have gone to back-to-back Olympics and have a player that has scored back-to-back hat-tricks in an Olympic in Barbara Banda. Also have Kumamanji, who is doing really well for herself, also showed herself in the last WAFCON too. You definitely know that those are countries that once you test those countries and know that you can go back to par with them. That's why I said the Super Falcons should also not be complacent because they are playing Senegal. Senegal can bite them if they want to and if they are not careful. So I like the fact that we've taken the lead, and of course that is the goal that is being shown on the screen, the penalty taken by Azizato Shuala, 6-time best player of the year. I mean, when it concerns records, the women just know how to do it. No any other player, both men and women, have won the CAF Player of the Year more than Azizato Shuala. Not even Eto himself. Eto has 5, Azizat has 6. When it concerns WAFCON too, she has 5 currently. She has won the WAFCON 5 times. Not the highest yet, but I mean, she has 5 WAFCON titles. That's no mean feat for a player. That's why I said when it concerns the spotlight is always going to be on her. And she is one name that's not in her prime anymore, but one name that's defense is still fair, because on her day when she decides to bite, she will bite. And it's good that she's also going to be part of the leaders we'll have in this team, at least for the next couple of years before she gets to retire.
You just saw that on your screen really well. Euphoria was speaking, and well, that's we trying to ensure that at least you have an idea of what's happening in that territory while connections are still being worked on. You know, we're heading towards the halftime break officially. There doesn't seem to be headway to getting that right for now, but what we can do for you for sure is ensure that you see what that goal looked like. We're going to have that goal again on your screen right now. Azizato Shuala stepping up to take the penalty for Nigeria. The Super Falcons with the all white, it's like a very light green, touch of light green. Before you had mentioned in the past that they are repeating the jersey we've seen.
Yeah, this was the jersey they wore when they won the WAFCON. This was and it's different from what the men are currently wearing.
Indeed. Yeah. So that top now, and then the white shorts, and then Senegal ladies are with the all green outfits. It's a friendly game, and that's why Asisat is not celebrating like she just won the World Cup. It's a friendly match now. So
well, we have another goal to announce to you. Unfortunately, like I said, we are not showing in real time, but of course we get the footage of the goal very soon, just like we showed you this one. And this one is by Antoinette, or Tony Payne, like you like to call her, and it's the goal that came in the 42nd minute of that game. By the lady who plies her trade in England for Everton women, Tony Payne. Not really seen in the team since after the WAFCON due to injuries and all that, but coming back into the team for the first time. She wasn't part of the team that played that particular qualifiers in Nigeria when they played their first competitive match after winning in October against Benin Republic, but her first return to the WAFCON, or her first return to the Falcons, and her first goal. And you know that this is another player that you're definitely going to be watching out for in the WAFCON to come. So yes, another really great goal for Nigeria there, and of course energy is buzzing for the girls I mean, if they can't get anything right, cannot get new jerseys, they can still be scoring goals. I mean, what can I say?
Or do we now say that Tony is causing Senegal pain and Tony pain with that goal for Nigeria? The Super Falcons have scored again. That's the case. He's 2-0 the advantage right now, and I can feel the euphoria around that team. So it's Nigeria 2, Senegal 0. As you had euphoria, I just say hopefully we can also at least see for nothing, as much as we haven't gotten the live pictures live from the stadium yet. You can at least see what that goal looks like. Hopefully we should be able to lay our hands on that video and also play that for you as we bring to you all the excitement right here on vivxsports. I'm sure if you check out for options, you will not find options too. So it's a challenge that we have generally as a country, and it's not just about vivxsports today. The challenge of not having pictures yet. Thank you for staying with us. You can also click on that subscribe button on our channel and follow us across board, because we want to ensure you never get bored. Beyond this game today, it's another one on Monday, and then there's a friendly match for Nigeria Super Eagles against Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal, next Wednesday, and then there will be the World Cup starting on Thursday. That's on the 11th of June. South Africa against Mexico will be the first game of that competition. The Super Falcons showing us why they are what they are. We know that football is not mathematics, right? But it looks like it's mathematics playing out now in that context, because Zambia narrowly beat Senegal 3-2 in the WAFCON last year, something we've spoken about. And when Nigeria met that same Zambian team in that WAFCON, we flogged them 4-0.
5 actually.
So was it 5?
So a 5-star performance.
You don't talk and finish really. High five, I beg, chop your 5. But it was a case of Zambia beat Senegal, Nigeria beat Zambia, and on paper that should mean Nigeria should beat Senegal. That's what's happening now, 2-0 for the Super Falcons.
Well, mathematics, not sound so done, but everybody's talking maths. But you also understand that it's also, like I mentioned, it is something that every country that gets to face Nigeria is definitely going to be playing against. You are playing against the strongest, the most successful, the defending champions, the always favorites going into any WAFCON. So you understand that you are definitely playing on the back foot when you're facing the Super Falcons, no matter what is going on with the team. One of the things that's going on is that we cannot watch them. But you understand that, like I said, the ladies are always
highly spiritual.
The ladies are always going to play football. That's one thing about them, because if judging by how the preparations were for the last WAFCON, also no one should have been depending on them to win, but they went on to win despite everything. And right now we are seeing challenges already starting before the preparations for them. No friendlies until this particular final window before the WAFCON for them, and now we're getting to see them actually still turn up. So yes, it's sad at the same. It's a bitter. Let me put it this way: it's a bittersweet thing to talk about, because you know that the girls would try to turn up when they have the ball, and of course they are playing for the badge. It's something that players like the captain of the side, Rajat Ajipa, they will always say. They are always playing for that badge whenever they are in that particular attire, talking about the jersey, the green jersey, or the green and white jersey. Don't make that mistake. But I mean, you understand that that's what is going to happen. Senegal are not a pushover. I keep saying it. Forget that scoreline. It is not what you see that should determine, because when the WAFCON starts and you are seeing Senegal beat Morocco, and I say, it's not Senegal we beat the other day. They are not a pushover side. On the day they want to score plenty goals, they'll score plenty goals. On the day they want to go head to head with you, they will. But it's very good that the girls are able to contain them, because I mean, for a team that could beat a team like Algeria, a team that could go head to head with Zambia, they also got to the quarterfinals of the 2022 WAFCON. So again, back-to-back quarterfinals finish for them just shows that they are not pushovers on the African continent anymore. While their men's teams are thriving better than they are when it concerns dominating the continent. I mean, Senegal winning, let me put it that way, the AFCON, despite them not being the current champions for whatever reason. I mean, that is still CAS issue to settle. They are on the 17th side, are currently champions of the continent also. You understand that it has been a gradual process trying to get these teams to where they are on the continent, and you can see it by the performance of the Senegalese side each edition of the WAFCON, which is, I think, is the parameter to measure the growth and the success of any women's national team on the continent. Back to back, their first quarterfinals was in appearance was in 2022. They made a back-to-back quarterfinals appearance in 2025, the 2024 edition, by the way. And right now, that's good growth for them. And right now, they are going to be playing in a very tough group. Should they make it out of that group, they are also going to be qualifying for the quarterfinals too. So you understand that this is a team that is building consistently, and we should not overlook them. So it's good that the Super Falcons are still standing on business when playing the Senegalese side, and you're not saying, oh, it is just Senegal, let's just play them anyhow. And yeah, we are 2 goals to nil up against the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal just before halftime.
Officially, it's halftime now in Ikenne, where Nigeria Super Falcons have gotten into the break with the advantage. Those goals, certainly goals coming at the right time. The first 25 minutes of the game offered us nothing as 2 goals, and then the Super Falcons turned on the stars in the latter stages of the first 45 as Satu Shola scoring from the penalty spot to give us the lead. And then Tony Payne stepping up to convert that second opportunity for Nigeria, putting the ball into the back of the net to the detriment of our West African rival Senegal. So halftime in Ikenne is Nigeria 2, Senegal 0. And we'll just have a chance to pick a few calls of yours. One more time, apologies. We still haven't gotten pictures from Ikenne as to live pictures, but we at least give you an idea of what that first goal looked like by playing that on your screen. I think I'll just have my guy Emmanuel just put that on the screen again for you, and ensure that you, if for nothing, look at what things are like. And I'm just wondering when, I know it's a weekday, it's a Friday, I understand it, but I'm wondering when the Super Falcons, who are the most successful women's national team in Africa, will be playing a game and the stadium is filled to capacity. That's what I expect to see. You know, I expect to see even more fans in the stands watching. Maybe the publicity around these games is not good enough, because I think that if more people hear the Super Falcons in town,
definitely contrasts to what we saw when they came the last time to Nigeria and played in Abeokuta, which is just some kilometers away from Ikenne, by the way, and fans turned up for this particular. Now, I'm very sure that the game is free. Just like it was free in Ikenne, but the publicity was very low. I mean, and again, it's just the way that we publicize, or the way that we carry the Super Falcons, or the way they are being treated, that it shows everywhere. That particular one, it was their first game after winning the WAFCON, and a lot of fans wanted to see them after that 10th title. I mean, after them getting all those accolades from the presidency, everyone wanted to see the new OONs, and of course the ones that were promoted from OON to MON, because I mean they already players like Satu Shola is now an MON.
We're also given EY.
Yeah, definitely.
Money.
That's what I'm saying. People wanted to come see these players. I mean, outside was chaos on that particular day because of the number of people that flooded the stadium to watch them in Abeokuta at the newly renovated MKO Stadium, Abeokuta. It is contrast to this, because this time around, less publicity, a lot, and Ikenne is a town that gets to come out to watch football, which is why I'm very, very surprised that this is what's happening. But you also want to attribute it to the fact that it is on a Friday. People are still going to be coming in from their workplaces. Well, yeah, it's just the way we handle it. It was definitely going to be different if it was going to be the Super Eagles playing in a ground like this. But it is what it is, and that is a goal from Tony Payne, the second goal of the game. You can see her there talking about the lady who
that's first goal,
that's penalty.
And then
I was seeing players like Tony Payne jubilate there, so that's okay.
So I think that this is Tony Payne's goal now, guys. You can see this. This is the exports trying to ensure that nothing happens to you. As much as you've not had the pleasure of watching the game itself, the title of the first 45, and we'll ensure that once you have seen the 2 goals, the first one from the penalty spot, by assist out to You can sure call that number on your screen. I know many of you are watching us from outside Nigeria. We had a caller from England the other time. We had another one from Imo State. Wherever you're watching us from, you can drop on the comment section where you're watching us from, and I will be giving you some shout out today. And then you can call in that number on your screen, +234 813 6197 658. +234 813 6197 658. You've seen the 2 goals now. At least you have an idea of what the play felt like for Nigeria, and the number of people in that stadium watching this game. You sure can dial that number. You can call the number via WhatsApp or through a regular call. We are here to ensure that you get connected to the excitement here, courtesy of vivxsports. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep it going. I'm sure that you know that you don't have too many options around the place to see even what you have seen here today, which is the opportunity to see how those goals were scored, as we have not been able to successfully connect with the live football yet at the stadium in Ikenne. If you join us right now, just to remind you that it's Nigeria leading Senegal by 2-0. I'll go to the YouTube stream to read a few thoughts and messages of yours. And this one says it's from Ayorinde Emmanuel, who says, Chuma, well done. At least we still have hope with from few people like you, since the NFF has gone into extinction. As he says, well, the NFF are still there, actually. They're still running things in football in the country, and they're hoping that they can lead the Super Eagles to win the WAFCON next year, and also support the Super Falcons to win the WAFCON later in the month of July. Adebowale Abiodun 3056 says, up Super Falcons, more wins. Yeah, up you too, man. Thank you so much. It's great to have you join us. Well, this one is just asking for, the scores, the exact scores. If you missed out on it earlier, I mentioned it. Mustafi Seal, I hope I pronounced your name right. It's Nigeria leading by 2-0. Impressive stuff. Yeah, this one says, Chuma, do you know that England are currently broadcasting their training in Florida live? I mean live training and not match. And then he's just complaining about Nigeria and the challenges that we face in this part of the world. That's a message from Ayorinde Emmanuel also. Thank you, Ayorinde, for your message. So we're not too far away from that reality. Today happened to be the 6th, today is the 5th of June, and with the WAFCON starting on the 25th of July. Does that thing happen to you, Euphoria? I'm going to ask you this question after I pick this call. Okay. I would ask that question for sure. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, hello, and good afternoon, Chuma.
Yes, good afternoon to you. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
Just my comments recently, just 3 minutes ago. Emmanuel Lion is calling from Adek.
All right, great to have you join us.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You saw the 2 goals, right?
Yeah, first, I want to comment your platform. Thank you for bringing this to us. Everybody knows type of country we are living in. So, and I can see some people won't train just as you guys, but the truth is, you guys are doing your best, and you can't do more than, for the copy cannot require than the original, right? So, you're just doing your job. So, kudos to you guys in the studio there.
Thank you very much.
And what I just want to say is, I think you, the media, can you hear me, please?
Yeah.
I think you, the media, you actually have a lot of jobs in your hands. I don't know, probably intensify pressure on these people, because we just the other citizens, there's little as we can do. But for you who have the platform closer to these guys, I don't know, you can just put some sense into their head. So it's very, very disheartening. And because I know more people, because it's not even being played in Abeokuta, because the last time I came to Abeokuta, I was at the stadium. And it was mind blowing. I remember it was raining on that day, and Peter was speed up. Trust me, it was speed up. I remember I saw Ajibade scoring his 2 goals. I think he scored a penalty, and he actually scored another, I think, a goal from a cross. You understand? So I'm just trying to repaint the picture in my head here. And it was a nice experience. I don't know why we are sitting and doing this like this. And this is not even football. That's where we practice our female, folks across all the sectors. So I think we can do better as a country, because they really deserve more. And trust me, these ladies are 10 AFCON for us, right? 10.
Yes, they have 10 African titles.
Chuma, you can attest to this, because I listened to you on other broadcast. These ladies have more better chances of going to World Cup, and even winning the World Cup ahead of these men. And I don't know why, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
you're right.
That better chances of even going further in the World Cup and even winning the World Cup ahead of the. I don't really know why I treated them this way. So at least I don't know. These guys use a platform and turn some sense into these guys. I know tonight they are trending. I know NFF is trending tonight. That was for sure. So I'll just stop here and listen to you about the Over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very wise words from you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's glaring, you know, your women's football too. We appreciate you. He said he was in Abeokuta to watch the Super Falcons last year play.
Yeah,
that's what we want.
I think he just mixed up the scoreline because it was Ashley Plumter that scored our only goal in that game, and it was a 1-1 draw. We drew that game 1-1 at the end of the day, but that was not enough to ensure we don't qualify. That was enough for us.
Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. Please, what's your name and where you're calling us from? Mano, please just give us a bit of volume for the headphone. Thank you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I think I'm on I think, how do you call this? Vivxsports Export.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, please.
Sorry. Hello?
Hello, can you hear us?
I'm so sorry. Call us back if you can. I think you have a piece of a challenge with your connection. It's good now. Yeah, thank you so much, bro. All right, it's clearer now, surely.
Yeah.
Going through my eardrums, ask the Casey. So keep the calls pouring in if you can. We're getting ready for the second 45 as the Super Falcons are trying to show that they are fortified and make the fans satisfied with the brilliance on the pitch. We lead by 2-0 at the moment. And I was going to say euphoria. I don't know if it happens to you sometimes when you're trying to mark, dates. They should. Yeah. Please, when you call in, just reduce the volume of your
device,
YouTube stream.
yeah.
All right. That technology has advanced, but the one that they have still not sorted out is this whole back challenge. If you're calling into a radio show or a live stream as this one, and the volume of your radio or the volume of the live stream is on while you're talking on the phone, and it doesn't sound too good to those who are listening and for us who are in here too. So please, when you call in, just run away from your live stream for a bit or reduce the volume of the live stream if you want to keep watching us while speaking. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello?
Okay, my neighbor. Yes, good evening.
My name is I'm calling you live from Somalia.
Amazing.
I want to appreciate you. Yeah, I want to appreciate you people because I've been moving around the channels to see whether I'll be able to watch them live. But the only thing I'm not just happy. You just give us some 5 or 6 minutes to have a glimpse of what is going on the pitch. So, but I really appreciate you on this program because people are doing great. I'm happy watching Nigerian live, seeing people at the goal line. It's really impressive.
We try to get them to play for you, yes.
Yeah, I so much love what people are doing. God bless you.
Nigerian?
I'm a Nigerian man. I'm a policeman.
Based in Somalia. Fantastic, man. Respect to you.
No, I'm not going to. I'm here for a mission.
Oh, you just.
I'm here for a mission.
Oh.
As an ambassador representing Nigeria here, so I'm doing great. Defending my country. I'm doing well for my country.
Proud of you.
And I appreciate what my country is doing.
Yeah, we're proud of you. Thank you so much. Beautiful. This is kind of stories we like to connect to. Nice.
Yeah,
God bless you too. Thank you. God bless you too. Yeah. So actually, just to clarify, normally, if you had watched, like I said, if you had watched Nigeria's game on Wednesday, the friendly fixture that ended 2-2 against Poland, that was outright. For that, we're doing a watch party. We're here running commentary for you, but not showing the game because we did not have the rights to broadcast the game. But for this one, we came into the studio today prepared because we had access to that to broadcast the game while also in the studio. All right, but apparently technical issues have messed things up for us, and that's why we've not had the connection yet for live broadcast. Yeah, that's just me playing the air. If you're watching us for the very first time, we come here normally like we did on Wednesday, like we're going to do next Wednesday, and then we give you, the watch party experience. We're running commentary live here even when you're not seeing the game. We're using because again, these things work with your rights just to clear the air. You don't want to go and broadcast the game that you don't have rights to, okay? But for this very game, we're ready to broadcast the game because we had sorted things out as to rights and ensuring that we broadcast the game. However, we're having a bit of a technical challenge right now, and I'm hoping that somehow our guys still make this thing happen because I'll be keen to ensure that you enjoy that second half when it comes alive. One thing is certain, no matter how bad things get, we'll ensure you try and see the goal as we made sure you saw the first goal and the second goal scored by Nigeria's Super Falcons. That's on your screen. I was saying before, I don't know if this one happens to you again. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. Because I was trying to say how many days, if today is the 5th of June, how many more days are left to the 25th of July for WAFCON? And so my brain just wanted to start doing 30 days of September, April, June, and November. So I can now calculate.
You are forgiven. We all do it. I'm very, very sure I still do it. I think I was trying to calculate. Okay, that was because May had 31 days, and as at the 30th, I was already like, this month should have been over. And I wanted to be sure that, wait, don't we have an extra day? And I had to do that. I had to do my 30 days. Never escape it. But I mean, it's one of those things that when you learn in primary school still become useful to you. It's not like Pythagoras theorem that I don't use as an adult. Yeah, using this one every day. So yeah, really important. But yes, you know that the countdown to the defense of the Super Falcons 10th title, or the Super Falcons title, because no one can take it away from them. They just might take it over from them. But yeah, the defense of that title will start from the 25th of July, just after the World Cup is over. We'll be shifting gear because we are covering the World Cup too for you right here at vivxsports. So as we are removing our satellite from the Americans in the US, Canada, and Mexico, we are going over to Morocco to continue bringing you football in action, because we're here always to celebrate African sports and global sports. So yes, you always trust us to bring to you the action also from Morocco. So once we are done with the World Cup, everybody's packing their bags and we are going to Morocco. So yes, the defense starts on the 25th for the Super Falcons. It was supposed to be played earlier in the year in March, but there was an issue with Morocco and CAF, which was later sorted out, and they later settled. Yam Pepe scatter initially, but they've settled now, and a new date was of course confirmed, which is going to be from the 25th of July down into sometime in August. Not remembering the date anymore, but yes, starting from 25th of July, we're definitely going to run into some days into August.
All right, I'm just going to address this comment straight away from Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I'm going to say this to you straight away. If you think that you do not want to watch the broadcast, you can go off. Yeah, and I'm being very, very nice while saying that, your comments that we know what we're doing and that we're not going to broadcast the game is not because we have technical issues. If you have other options and you want to actually go to those options, very fine right now, all right? And for the beautiful people who are still connected to the broadcast right now, thank you so much for staying with us, all right? Let's go in on a very short break, and when we return, we'll get into the group for the second 45 minutes of action. Is Nigeria's Super Falcons leading Senegal by 2-0? We'll be back shortly.
To grow. Ready. It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of high competitiveness, and it's just it's a learning process, and it feels so good to be here. What has surprised you the most about the level of competition at WAFCON? I think I'm very excited about the growth in African football, especially like the playing style. It has really, really evolved, and I really want to say, all thanks to all players out there putting out their best to make African football a great tournament, and also like the coaches that continue to learn and teach the players to grow. If you had to create a soundtrack for your football journey so far, which 3 songs are definitely on it? Ele Dumare by Wizkid, Ojo Elegba by Wizkid, Gratitude by Tokwe Alabi. Who is the better dancer in camp, you or Esther Nkoroko? To be honest, I'd say I'm not really a good dancer. I just vibe to the song, and I'd say Esther is a better dancer than myself. What does being part of this Super Falcons team mean to you at this early stage of your career? It means so much. It is such a very big privilege, and I'm so excited about it because I know there's thousands of people that are also worthy to be here, but I would say Grace just brought me here, and I'm really, really grateful for it, and it's always an honor to put on the Nigeria jersey. Who is taking on that big sister role for you in camp? Always encouraging, always checking in. I feel like everyone, to be honest, because I'm the baby of the house, so I'm one of the baby of the house, and everyone has been sweet. Everyone has taken the role of a senior sister to me, and I'm grateful for every one of them for how they treat me, how they look out for the younger ones in the camp. You have one movie night with teammates. What film are you picking and why? I think I'll pick Squid Game. I'm not really a fan of movie a lot, but I've seen Squid Game, and I think I like the suspense. I like the fact that there's a little bit of horror, and everyone is just gonna be on their toes, and it's gonna be a fun, horrific, funny, and interesting experience. Thank you. How does it feel being here, and what have you learned already? It feels so great. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. It's always a privilege. I've learned so much from my teammates, from my coaches. It's a game that comes after another game, and I think it's a lot of, high competitiveness, and it's.
Welcome back. You're still watching vivxsports, and for us, it's a lot about the excitement, and enough to make me stutter right now because I think I need to drink a bit more water. It's about the excitement around Nigeria's Super Falcons, who are getting ready to defend their Women's Africa Cup of Nations title in Morocco next month. And so they're playing a friendly game against the Senegalese counterparts. And we went into the halftime break leading by 2-0. My name is Chuma, in here alongside the one and only Euphoria Joy, who's alongside myself too. Just a quick update for you. Apparently there's a bit of challenges with maybe right issues or something like that. That's why you don't have access to seeing the game anywhere. And again, it's going to fall back to the football authorities in the country and how the Super Falcons play matches, and we don't have access to being able to broadcast these games. Different stories coming from different camps at this time, but we do have our eyes on the developing situation, and once things are cleared and we can have access to the pictures, live pictures that is, we'll bring it your way. If that does not happen, then you can rest assured that we would show you the goals like we did with the goals from the first 45 minutes. It's important I just share that information with you. Thank you so much for staying with us. We'll be reading more of your comments as we progress. The second half is now live in Ikenne. It's Nigeria still with the 2-0 advantage against the Senegalese counterparts. And you just be wondering to yourself before, as I get ready to pick this call, when as a country we'll try and sort ourselves out with these issues around broadcasting games, especially around the Super Falcons. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm fine. Is that vivxsports?
Yes, it is. vivxsports, yes. Nice, welcome.
Good job to you people.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate you here. I'm calling from Africa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Today. Is it raining there?
Yeah, it's not raining there.
Oh,
it's not raining here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I just want to say this. It's so pathetic that we are not investing in women's sports in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I would like to lay an example of Kenya. Kenya are not good in football, but they are good in the long distance race, and they invested in it.
Yeah.
And they keep on making waves, even in the global stage, in Africa and the global stage. So we Nigerian women have been trying in Africa. Why can't we just move on to the global stage? Let's invest in these women. 10-time champion is not a joke. So it's so absurd that the leaders, the NFF, they are not trying enough. They are trying, but they are not trying enough. It's not enough. We need to do better. And I would love to give them this advice that they should market our female football to the world.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You've made some important points there to be 10-time African champions. And he said, and it makes sense, that Kenya are known for long distance races, Kenya and Ethiopia. And they are not just the best in Africa when it comes to that. At the global stage, in the Olympics, at the World Athletics Championships, they also, go there and win. And so if Nigeria is the best women's national team in Africa, is it not high time we went to compete alongside the best in the world? And it's a shame that our best record in the Women's World Cup is still something from 1999 when we got to the quarterfinal stage. And back then there was no second round, so you just felt like coming out from the group stage into the quarterfinals.
The WAFCON currently.
Yeah, so it goes beyond just being the best in Africa. He's saying it's about time Nigeria went to be amongst the best in the world in the women's game, and we're not doing it right in these parts. Hello, welcome. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning. My name is Ayuba from the States.
All right. When you say good morning, I'm suspecting you're in the USA or Canada. Are you?
I'm in USA.
USA, oh great. Because when you said good morning, I knew that there's only one way. There's still morning where you are. Welcome.
I've been longing to watch the game, but
we have been longing to. Trust me, I've been longing to watch the game as well too. But
Because
pictures aren't coming through.
We are in 2026 and they are still behaving like we're in the 80s and 70s. No updates, which is very bad. And hopefully, I pray they do the right thing, pick the right players, and mix up the younger generation so that at least those that deserve to be in the team will be in the team. Not just because I need a favor, you need to be this team. No, it doesn't work that way. It has passed beyond that. And also, I want most Nigerians should keep praying and hoping that the federation will put Nigeria first before their selfish interest to give a contract for Eric Shaw. That's just my own point.
All right, extend Eric Shell's contract, you're saying. Thank you for joining us from the USA. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, God bless you, man. And please don't forget to click on that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel too, and support what we are doing here. We appreciate you as always. So we're searching for another goal in Ikenne. It hasn't come yet. Still Nigeria leading Senegal by 2-0. When we're done with this, we will have the second leg in quotes of this friendly pairing. That will be on Monday evening, also in Ikenne at the Remo Stars Stadium. Well, for the Senegalese ladies, just to remind you again, Asisat Shola scored the opening goal from the penalty spot, because I'm seeing some posts here, ask questions. And then Tony Payne scored the second goal from Nigeria. If you did not see that, maybe as we progress, my guys will give you a chance to see that beautiful second goal again for the Super Falcons. But you look at the players who started Euphoria for Nigeria and see the options on the bench. Apparently the coach was keen to allow the players who started the action to remain for the entirety of the first 45. So I think that we could look forward to seeing changes in the second half.
Yeah, looking to see other names get a little bit of playing time as they get to also keep their match fitness, because it's really important as we head into the all-important one back there in Morocco next month. Yes, there will also be an opportunity for them to be part of the players to be selected on Monday when we play the second game, because it's going to be a double fixture against Senegal today and of course Monday right there in Ikenne. So yes, just putting it out to you also that if you're free on Monday and you're around Ikenne, maybe you stay in Abeokuta, you stay in Lagos, and you can drive down there to watch that game. So if you want to watch the girls before they go to Morocco, you can also do that. Just putting it out there for you, because I get to tell you when you can get to see the girls also. So yes, it's very important to see that some of the names that we expected to actually graze our screens, well, the screen that we are showing you, have eventually played, but we are hoping to see changes also when it concerns the second half. We are leading comfortably. Maybe that's why the coach is not doing anything yet, but I hope that he does the change as soon as possible. This is not a game that really matters in the long run. We just want to be able to check the match fitness and every other thing around some of the players. I mean, some of the players that are on the bench that are questionable when it concerns their place at that Tony, when it concerns the WAFCON. Talking about Tony, that is the second goal of the game, scored by Tony Payne. If you're just
were they shouting for offside, the Senegalese ladies?
That's why I said, when you said she couldn't do anything, I said at least she could raise her hand and of course signal for offside there, saying the goal scored by Antoinette or Tony Payne was offside, but no, that goal will stand, as we can see it already did in the first half. So yes, I'm hoping to see other names, trying to go back to the lineup for the Falcons.
While you're going through that, I'll read even more comments to the live stream. Ogochuko Koro says, Chuma, Euphoria, well done. But I have a question. Why is Nigerian things, why is things, Nigeria things always like this? Why is the match not being streamed live for people to watch? I mean, fans have longed for the girls to play friendly matches for now. Well, it's a beautiful nation, or isn't it? Nigeria, a great nation. That's all I can say right now. You know, fantastic just having you have your say on the live stream. This one says, I hope before the second leg things will be okay so that we can watch live. It's from Famuyiwa Oluwafemi. Thank you for also speaking to us. The same way you're longing to see the game, the same way I am longing to see the game. And apparently, you know, it's like right issues. And, okay, like NFF maybe your media team should stream it, let Nigerians see it, since you're conversations around right issues, or just something, you know. But
again, it's not like I said, it's not black and white. Some of these things that happen, but it is where we find ourselves. And like I was mentioning before, we even knew that all of this was going to go down, talking about the way that the girls are treated when it concerns the preparations for competitions. Fans couldn't make it. A lot of fans couldn't make it down to watch the girls live, and a lot of them were longing to watch them. I mean, a lot of fans were actually there to actually throw hands on behalf of the girls on social media when they couldn't get some of those friendlies confirmed. When the friendlies against Cameroon was called off, when the friendlies against Togo was called off, fans were coming out in their numbers to actually drag the NFF and say, okay, please give these girls what they deserve. They always give back to the country when it is their own turn to actually pay their dues. So why are you holding them hostage, where the girls also started coming out to complain? Players like the captain, as you can see on our screen, was also part of the players who came out to actually call out the authorities, and fans were definitely longing to see them play. So this is quite unfortunate that even we that want to actually show it are not allowed to be show it. So it's really, really unfortunate. But guys, it is what it is. We are going to continue to bring the best we can for you. I mean, our foot soldiers down at the stadium are the ones getting us footages of the goals and of course the action you need to see, since we cannot broadcast it live. So keep bringing it to you, and we'll continue to voice our opinions, call upon the relevant authorities, especially the NFF, to ensure that this is not how it is. I mean, if we don't get the rights, we are not definitely going to drag that. But once it's broadcast somewhere else, we can just do the watch along as we usually do for other games that we don't have rights, and we'll tell you how it's being done. But again, it is just the way things are being done in this country, and it's quite unfortunate. Well, for the players that we're talking about, the players that we're hoping to see in the second half come on from the bench, I was hoping to see 61 minutes played so far. Yes, I was hoping to see players like Imoran, who has been one of those players that a lot of fans have been calling for Madugu to include her in the team. And when she made that move to London City Lionesses there in England, also part of the team that got them promoted to the WSL, talking about the top tier league of Women's Super League of the English Premier League. A lot of fans were also complaining of why she was not getting called up by Coach Madugu, and she has eventually gotten that call up. That a lot of fans are getting that call back into the team. I mean, she has played for the team before. Rafia Timoran is who I'm talking about. She's on the bench. I was hoping to see her. I was hoping to see Ikenne, Babajide also get a little bit or into the action. Babajide, who won the domestic double right there in Italy alongside her teammates in Shukurat Oladipo, who is starting, by the way, who started the game. That's the person that is wearing the number 5 jersey, in case you get to see her in some clips that will later come on. Yes, we're hoping to see Babajide also get a little bit of the action. Ikenne, who scored the winning goal. I like to call her President Joe because her nickname is Joe. Jennifer Ikenne is her full name, but she likes a lot of people call her Joe. Ikenne. I'm hoping to see her. She is also one player that we always like to call upon when it concerns really important matches. So I'm hoping to get her. I'm hoping to see her get a little bit into the action, because this season, talking about club side, has really been not really stable for her. Unlike her teammates in France, there in the same team, Paris Saint-Germain Feminine, talking about Azato Ajibade, who was not really plagued by injuries as compared to Jennifer Ikenne. So I'm hoping that for the sake of match fitness, because she's definitely going to make that team once she's fit, she's going to make that team to Morocco. She was definitely also coming from the bench. I mean, she came from the bench to score the winning goal for us in that particular encounter against Morocco in that final. So hoping to also see her get a little bit of the action, and maybe hope to see her start in the game on Monday. But I mean, introduce her into the game in this one. We are winning comfortably, so get some of these girls into the action. Maybe players like Gift Monday, who we've not seen in a long time play for the Super Falcons, eventually gets into the action too, as she missed out on the playing in the last WAFCON. Unfortunately, the WAFCON in which she played, she was not able to get a medal in that one because we lost both in the semi-finals and we lost the third place match to which is quite unfortunate. And then the next one, which everyone expected her to go because she was really in very, very great form that season in her club side, talking about Washington Spirit right there at the NWSL in the USA. She missed out of that one, and then the team went on to win gold in that one. So yes, the girl is back in the team, back, and of course team spirit is high. Seeing her back, she's one of those girls you always enjoy her, always enjoy to see off the pitch in camp because she's always going to lead the spirit of the team. On the pitch also, she's someone that you can also call upon when things get tough, talking about Gift Monday. And then she has been in really fine form for like 2 seasons in a stretch. So I'm hoping to see that she gets a little bit of the action today in the final minutes. Seeing that Azat has scored a goal, you can tell her to rest a bit and bring on people like Gift Monday to continue to prosecute the action in the final minutes of this encounter against the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal. Lionesses.
Yes, so very important stuff for the Nigerian side, and again, these things will count for them. When you speak about the FIFA rankings for women's football, yes, it's a friendly game, but sometimes the points you garner and amass from this could help you go higher on the FIFA rankings. And looking at the fact there's going to be 4 friendly games. By the time we're done with Senegal Part 2 on Monday, it would have been 4 friendly games for Nigeria's Super Falcons in 2026. And if we were to win this one as we're doing now and then win the one on Monday, then it will be a case of 3 wins and just 1 loss in those 4. But I don't want to jump the gun. Right now where we are is 3 friendly matches. This is the 3rd one in 2026. Nigeria lost 1 by a goal to nothing to Cameroon, won the 2nd leg of that friendly fixture by 3 goals to 1. And right now they're leading Senegal by 2 goals to nothing after over an hour of football. Officially, we've seen 67 minutes of action in Ikenne. It's still Nigeria 2, Senegal 0. And for these countries, getting to the WAFCON, we've said that more often than not, is another step to trying to qualify for the Women's World Cup. The 3 most consistent, or do I say the 4 most consistent African nations in global football in the last 6 years since we hit EF 2020 have been Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco, and Zambia. These are the countries that have found a way to push themselves to the summit, go to the World Cup. They were in the World Cup for Africa in 2023, and they will be favorites to get to the semi-finals of the WAFCON this year
to get
and get that ticket to be at the World Cup again for Africa. But I'm wondering who the dark horses could be for you, Euphoria, to that World Cup from Africa. There's Algeria, there's Senegal, there's Ghana as well,
yeah,
too,
the
who must give kudos to, who
yeah, the
semi-finalists finished 3rd in the last WAFCON last year.
The Black Queens, and then they went on to win the competition in which they went to play in the Middle East when the last window for qualifiers and friendlies were there. They went on to play the Gold Cup and they won that particular one. I think we have a call now.
Yeah, let's just see who we have on the line. Hello, how are you doing? Hi, good evening. Please just add some volume to your voice so we can hear you clearly. Oh my, I'm so sorry. Your connection has a bit of a challenge, and so we're struggling to get your thoughts. You were talking about potential dark horses from Africa.
Yes, the Black Queens of Africa. Sorry, the Black Queens of Ghana, Africa. I beg you. But yes, you can, which is something really, 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 very. What will I say? It's really draining when I see it. Seeing the fact that countries like this who are not on our level when it concerns the medals, when it concerns the pedigree and everything, are getting adequate preparations from their federation. I mean, Ghana, we're playing the likes of the Black, talking about the Black Queens of Ghana, we're playing the likes of the 3 Lionesses of England and other top countries in their preparations for the WAFCON, which was supposed to hold a match. They played all those teams in preparation for match. Because match didn't even happen and we didn't play any friendlies before match. Just imagine if we had to go into the competition in match without any friendlies. It could have actually happened if we had continued that way and CAF had actually and Morocco had actually allowed that competition to go through.
You would have taken that Cameroon window. You would have taken that one.
Maybe not.
So use that one better for yourself.
I mean, always calling on Cameroon, but Cameroon eventually shanked us this time around because I mean it's crazy. But seeing countries like them actually go to get very adequate preparations going to a major tournament is why we should not overlook countries like Ghana. I already mentioned and I've already sang the praises of Senegal, who we are playing currently. He talked about the fact that they've gotten to back-to-back knockout stages of the last two WAFCONs that have been played in Morocco, and they will be playing Morocco again in the group stage this time around, playing countries like Algeria too in that same group. And you understand that some of these countries can turn up to be the dark horses of the competition. But again, like you've mentioned, we are definitely going to be expecting teams like Nigeria, teams like South Africa. And now, because of their feats in the last two editions of the competition, which they've hosted on home soil, getting to back-to-back finals, Morocco is now in the mix of being called favorites to win the competition. So yes, even if they don't win, you expect them to get to maybe the semi-finals, and of course definitely that gets them tickets to Brazil in summer 2027. So yes, those are the countries to look out for. Zambia too, I already mentioned that the Zambian team, forget the fact that they were actually beaten black and blue by the Super Falcons last year. They are not a team to be messed with. Morocco and themselves went head to head in the first game of the competition. It ended up being a 2-2 draw, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the only draw Morocco got in the group stage, in the group phase, and it was a really top game. Went on to get to the quarterfinals, which they lost to Nigeria. If not, they were on a very good run to probably getting into the finals of the competition the last time out. And you cannot take away anything from them, because recently they know how to qualify for the Olympics, and not just qualify, they somehow know how to make a statement through their talisman there, talking about Barbara Banda, who plays for the Orlando Pirates. So yes, Zambia are also favorites to get into the semi-finals, if not win, but at least get to the semi-finals and get that ticket to go to Brazil. So yes, those are some of the teams that maybe on paper would be tipping to get the 4 tickets to, let's not talk about the winner, but getting the 4 tickets to the World Cup next year. And then we've already mentioned that dark horses, countries like Senegal, countries like Ghana, maybe Algeria, but other countries, I will just be there to watch some of those countries debut, be debutants in that competition. Countries like Cape Verde, who are just qualifying for their first WAFCON ever as a country. I like to see them. Amazing. And I mean, Cape Verde has also been another country in Africa that has actually been having a very great run when it concerns their football on all levels. Their men had a very beautiful run at the 2023 AFCON, where we saw them go really far and of course win the hearts of fans, both with their football on the pitch and with their women off the pitch. And of course we got to see them qualify for the first...
So I didn't see that part. I'm a focused gentleman. Thank you.
We got to see them qualify for... I'm talking about their men. We got to see them qualify for their first World Cup, by the way. We saw clips of fans coming out to welcome them as they arrive in preparations for the World Cup that will be starting next week Thursday, talking about Cape Verde. So I mean, their women then qualified for their first ever WAFCON, which will be happening in July. So you know that's that country also. I mean, if there's any country that, if there's anybody that will bring a surprise that none of us should be looking forward to, most likely Cape Verde, saying that they were going head to head with countries like Cameroon in qualifying for the WAFCON. Cameroon eventually qualified based off rankings, but you understand that these are some of the countries that you're expecting to see. I don't know, maybe now a lot of people will not be looking at Cameroon, saying that they didn't even qualify initially during the normal qualification route. Maybe that is why many of us are not looking at them, and they've really been terrible in the last couple of years. Both friendlies, both WAFCONs. I mean, like I said, they didn't qualify. If not that the competition was expanded from a 12-team tournament to a 16-team tournament, Cameroon will have not qualified for this WAFCON. So maybe that's why you see a lot of us are not really giving them face. But again, they are a powerhouse in women's football, a powerhouse in men's football. They can decide to come up at that WAFCON and turn up. But these are the names you should be expecting to see fight for those 4 tickets for the WAFCON: Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and host Morocco.
All right, speaking about that, 73 minutes have been played so far in Ikenne, and it's still Nigeria leading by 2 goals. No new goals have been scored in the second half of the fixture. And of course, at this stage, I think we can beat our chest and say that having live pictures from the game is out of the conversation, sadly, because of whatever challenges they're having in that parts of the world. So if goals are scored, we would give you highlights of the goals, just like we did with the goals from the first 45. 2 goals scored by Tony Payne, that was the second for Nigeria, and the one from the penalty spot, the first from Asisat Oshola. Also, reading your comments, very interactive what we do right here via vivxsports, bringing all the magic as much as we can from these parts when there's live sporting action with a watch-along experience. All right, this one says it's from MEF Media. My G. Respect in every aspect for this life. Says, all right, Mero, Lady J, well done, fam. I'm enjoying every beat of the broadcast. Keep the description going. Cheers. Yeah. Huge respect to you, man, Latham. Huge respect all the time, my friend. Thank you so much. And Lady J. So that's your name, Lady J. Why you come quiet now?
Lady J. Thank you very much. Well, it's euphoria to you, please. It's euphoria to you. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. So, certainly so much more happening around the place. And I know that today, too, where we're going to have a few more of these women's international friendly games. You want to look through some of the matches that we should look forward to as fans of women's football this period?
Some of them, I'll leave you the list of them.
Like you mentioned yesterday, you said Côte d'Ivoire got the better of France, right?
That was in men's football, actually. Côte d'Ivoire, talking about that.
Yeah.
But in men's football, I mean, friendlies are already...
no, that one is, this is the period,
This is the period. Well, for women's football...
We have to walk around the place.
I think because of the window not being open to women, because of the way the FIFA calendar is structured for women is different from the way it's structured for men. So while the men are off season currently, league football is still going on across the world in different leagues. Maybe in leagues like the European leagues are all closed right now because they finished their season. Other leagues like the American leagues, Canadian leagues, the Saudi Arabian leagues, all those ones are still going forward. So yes, you will not expect to see as many friendlies like that. But you can see that this particular window, few around the place. Qualifying games for the Women's World Cup. Qualifying games, you can see countries like the Three Lionesses all in camp. So those play Spain later this evening. Big
game, man. World champions against European champions.
There's a rivalry right now between those two countries. They've met in 3 finals. In 2 finals, back-to-back finals. The first final was in the World Cup, where Spain got the better of the Three Lionesses. The next one was in the Euros, where England retained their title that they won in 2023 or 2022, if I'm not mistaken. And now again, they are meeting in this particular game today. So there's this heated rivalry between these two powerhouses in football. So those are some of the games you'll be looking forward to watch.
I'll just give updates, if you don't mind, from some live matches we're having now in the qualifying series for the Women's World Cup from Europe. It's Austria and Slovenia 0-0 after 35 minutes. Poland against France, also 0-0, 36 minutes played there. Iceland are leading away from home. Iceland women leading Ukraine's women by a goal to nothing after 34 minutes. And Italy alongside Serbia still playing out a 0-0 draw. There's been 19 minutes of action there. Before I just mentioned to you, the big one for tonight will be that massive game involving the world champions and the European champions. Spain, the best team in the world from the last World Cup, against England, the best team in Europe from the last Euros. That will be by 8 p.m. our time. We'll see Germany against Norway. That's for 7:35 p.m. And that's going to be the brilliance of Ireland women alongside the Dutch women's national team. So it's going to be Ireland against the Netherlands, with Denmark set to take on Sweden. It feels like a Scandinavian derby, that one. So it's beyond Nigeria, Super Falcons and Senegal today. In some other parts of the world, there's a big deal around women's national teams who are playing competitive matches, and it just gives us that feel, because the last Women's World Cup euphoria had over 1 billion views. So the women's game is a big deal these days, man.
Yes, it's always
increasing the prize money.
Increasing not just the prize money, but also expanding the net for countries that will be able to qualify, which is why we are going to be having a possible 5 countries from Africa, because yes, after the 4 teams that will qualify, last time we had 3 teams qualify for Africa because we had 3 slots, and now we are sure that the next one will have 4. That one is already confirmed, so that is already given to the 4 semi-finalists for the WAFCON, and an opportunity for a 5th, just like we eventually got 10 countries qualified for the World Cup from the men's side in Africa, with DR Congo being the 10th side after going through the intercontinental players. We're also going to be getting an intercontinental player slot, and Africa is going to compete in that, and that is going to be the 5th ranked nation at the WAFCON. So yes, and that is because we are going to be having an expanded World Cup for women too, just like we're having for men. So we're having 32 countries instead of the usual 24 we've been having for a couple of years now. We started with 12, which is why we got to the quarterfinals, like you mentioned, in 1999, and that was because we were just 12 countries. We got to the quarterfinals. Now it was expanded to 24, and we're still having 3 representatives from Africa. Now we'll be having 32 for the very first time in history. We'll be having 32 countries compete for the Global Mundial, currently being defended by Spain. They will be fighting for that in Brazil next year. So yes, we'll be having 4 countries confirmed from Africa, another slot added to number of slots we'll be having. So yes, that is really important information to note going into the WAFCON, which is why the WAFCON is really important this year, important for everybody competing in it, because they'll also be fighting for a chance to play at the World Cup in Brazil in the summer of 2027.
Just about 18 minutes played in Ikenne, still Nigeria 2, Senegal nil. Probably like say that don't slow down. What's popping?
It's a friendly game, and like I said, it is time for the coach to be able to test the girls, and get to see the girls that he has in camp, and evaluate them based on their fitness, based on everything. And this is the opportunity for him to do that. Unfortunately, that we're not getting real time action as we would have loved to, for us to be able to analyze the changes. I don't think there's been any change made yet. Waiting to see if anyone confirmed that from our foot soldiers right there in Ikenne. So yes, it's important that as much as we want to win, it is not about the win in Ikenne today and Monday. Remember, there's going to be another one, Senegal versus Nigeria on Monday in Ikenne, and again, should peradventure it is not broadcasted, trust us to always bring you the live action as we can, which is in terms of goals, the commentary, and of course the updates as it happens there in Ikenne. So yes, it's important that they keep the scoreline like this for the confidence of the goalkeeper in goal today. It is not easy, and everyone is confident, but for her, she needs this clean sheet. So we are already been about 3 minutes or less before the end of regular time, and of course we would be going to into added time, which I don't think should be more than 3 minutes, because nothing really major has happened except maybe that knock that Azato Shola got in the second half. That was confirmed from people that are in the stadium. And
so we had that poll. Can the Super Falcons win WAFCON 2026? And 91% of the 1,000 plus votes that we got have said yes. And
obviously, the overwhelming favorites. I understand, which is why I'm always saying that we are always putting pressure on the girls, despite not giving them as much preparation as we should give them, and we expect them to perform magical. And I remember there was a Ladies in Sports that was. Yeah, it was last year. Was it last year? Yes, it was last year. It was last year. That was before the WAFCON was played in July. Ladies of Sports was in June, and Christy Achebe was there, present with Nadozi and some other Super Falcons players, both past and present. And then we asked her a question that going into that WAFCON that was going to happen in July, which eventually won, that are they promising to come back with the title? And she was like, you guys are always putting us under pressure, and you're not giving us what we want, because we're talking about the way that we actually handle the affairs of the national teams, not just them, but even the 8th grade teams when it concerns the under 17 side, the under 20 side, the Flamingos, the Falconettes. So we're talking about all of that, and then she was like, all they will do is that they will play for the badge, and that was what they eventually did. So guys, I understand that now again we have started that circle. We are very entitled people in this country. We are feeling entitled to the title, but yes, I expect them to be favorites, but I do not want to put pressure on them, because I do not think that they have been given as much preparations as they should, and of course logistics also, because why are they playing in that jersey? Number one red flag for me. Why are you guys still giving on a jersey that they used to play in the last edition, when there's a new jersey that has been released by kit makers of both themselves and the Super Eagles? Why are they wearing old jerseys? All these things are things you should ask yourself when you are putting pressure on the Super Falcons. That is not to say that I don't want them to win. Obviously, I'm always going to be there and lose my voice when they do win, but these are some of the things that I should ask yourself. They are not even getting to allow you watch them play when they are playing in your backyard here. So, guys, but yeah, I get it. I understand it. Everyone wants to win.
That's where they say on social media, wahala, man. Like, it's not, we're just trying to make things look a bit easy here, but it's not the most palatable of situations. It's not exciting. That's the truth. That the women's national team of Nigeria have to go through these challenges at times. These are supposed to be basic things. Having people from the country who love the women's national team so much, it's glaring that the numbers add up. They really do add up when the Super Falcons are playing because of their success story over the years. But somehow it's been a repeated occurrence. It's been a situation that has happened in the past and is still happening somehow as to issues around broadcasting games involving the number one women's national team on the African continent. We're heading to the final minutes of the game in Ikenne. It's still Nigeria 2, Senegal 0. I'll just speak to my vision mixer to please give us, for those who may just have joined the broadcast right now, highlights again of those goals that we saw in the first half. The one scored by Asisato Shola from the penalty spot, and then the second goal scored by Tony Payne. So Emmanuel, if you can help us out with that again, just for the sake of those who may have joined this stream like right now and missed out on that excitement earlier. Let's give you a feel of what's happening in that stadium, despite the fact that there's not been the privilege of being able to bring to you live coverage of the action from the stadium, as the case is. The Nigerian ladies are the ones on the white outfits with the light green, and you can see how Tony Payne had that control. She had time, she had space, she put the ball into the right place, and then she went on to enjoy a warm embrace. Maybe she should score a brace.
Chuma.
Score again in the second half.
Chuma. You just had to. But yes, I mean, she scores really delightful goals for the Super Falcons. She's not one to score a lot of goals, but her goals are always. She reminds me of Kante for Chelsea. They don't score a lot of goals, but they score really, really beautiful, magnificent goals when they eventually do. So yes, that's Tony for you. Like I said, she has not really had the best season club side due to injury, and she has not featured for the Super Falcons since the last time she was with them when they won the WAFCON in July. I remember they've played other games. They played a qualifying game. They played 2 qualifying games, one in Benin Republic and of course the return leg in Abeokuta in October, and then after that there's been the Cameroon friendlies. So yeah, it's been tough for her, but I love the fact that this is a very good confidence boost for her going into the WAFCON, because I'm sure that she's one of the first set of names that Madugo will be putting on his list on the plane going to Morocco in July.
Indeed, and for that coach, he led Nigeria to the WAFCON. He won the title. There were conversations then on whether he's going to be given a contract to remain as coach of the side. There has not been a final talk around the contract, though. I don't think he's been amplified.
Yeah, he has. He got a contract renewal or a contract confirmation for 2 years, that he confirmed in October at the press conference in Abeokuta after the girls qualified despite that draw at home there, and he said he was given 2 years. So I'm sure that the 2 years is definitely going to.
How much the contract?
Well, he didn't tell us.
Not him, as in, I
mean the NFF didn't.
Because if we have an idea of how much the coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Shell, earns, we should have an idea of what
how much he earns. Yeah, there's a lot of secrecy around women's football in this country, which is unfortunate. I mean, there's secrecy for you to watch the game, so you can understand other parts of the game. But yes, I get that. But I mean, it was even very, very disheartening that he was not under contract going into the WAFCON, and that was not clear. That was a lot of things that was part of the distractions that was supposed to be facing him and the team, because people kept asking those questions at the press conferences. I remember he was asked before the game against Zambia.
You have a question to ask me now, sorry, because Senegal have just scored a goal. They have cut the deficit.
My clean sheet.
And there's no clean sheet for the lady who plays for Portsmouth, who has had a chance to stand in between the sticks for the Super Falcons today. Habo, she has conceded now. Senegal getting that goal towards the final minutes of the game, and at least they can look at this one and smile. And it just goes back to the fact that the Super Falcons are not showing enough, maybe not enough quality. It's a friendly game, yeah, but perhaps not enough quality in defense, because in their 2 matches against Cameroon a few months back, they conceded in both. 1-0, 3-1, they won the next one, but they conceded. So this is the 3rd game in a row where the Super Falcons have considered a goal.
Which is in contrast to what happened at the WAFCON, where they kept a lot of clean sheets. Before that finals, they had not conceded in like 4 games at the WAFCON.
This great record,
yes,
right?
they had, they kept a clean sheet against Algeria, a clean sheet against Zambia, scoring 5 goals. a clean sheet against South Africa, winning 2-0, and then get into the finals. And of course, that's how that happened, which eventually they had to like show that, okay, we can't keep clean sheets, we'll outscore you, which is different from what we've been saying since after that time. But again, like I said, it is not the full starters that you see. Players like Alozie are not on the bench, are not in the team. Players like Ashley Plumter are still injured and out. So some of these names that you expect to see are not there. So like I said, the coach is trying out everybody, and all these things are mistakes that you can allow to happen, because these are the times they are supposed to happen. This is why we need a lot of friendlies, which we didn't get. But the ones we get, this is where the coach will correct some of the things that happen. Because what I'm seeing, that it was actually from a defensive error, but a world-class goal. Someone forgot themselves in defense, and then Senegal, like I said, and I warned that they are not to be overlooked, because when they catch you, they will get that goal. And course they eventually did, but let's hope we can keep it and keep this particular win, or grind out the win, and not be like our brothers who played out a 2-2 draw against Poland.
So this one was always going to land for the Senegalese side, and that goal ensuring that they have something to smile about. It may just be some frenetic or frantic finish to the fixture in Ikenne. Right now, it's Super
currently
Falcons
they're actually in
Senegal
a very
won.
dangerous position. They are being faced by a free kick in a very promising area, talking about the Super Falcons. Like I said, let's hope that this doesn't end up being like the Poland game with the Super Eagles. But this is, like I said, it is a friendly. I don't think I'll read too much meaning into this. This is only the first time that the girls are coming together in a long time. So this is something that can be allowed and can be explained. And maybe when they come together on Monday again against the same side, then we can actually start judging that. Come on, if you cannot beat Senegal convincingly, or keep a very good, keep a clean sheet against Senegal in the game on Monday, then we'll start asking questions. But I mean, it's full time, and thankfully, it's done. I mean, like I said, we like to win. Everybody likes to win. So the win is here. We can start picking out the lessons from the game for the ladies and start analyzing it. Talking about the fact that we still have some players who people are not expecting to be part of this team still playing, and asking why we are still having them still being in contention for, because everybody that is playing here is in contention for that shirt going into Morocco. So you understand why people are still calling out for some of these players. Players like Odega, who was in the game, and from what I'm seeing was not really much in the action, as that was there missing a lot of open nets, but I mean, she got a goal, and of course the fact that she was missing net means she was getting into places, she was getting into spaces to even actually get those ones. So you understand that is still kind of important to the team, and these are some of the things we'll have to look into going into that game against Senegal on Monday. But full time, let me allow you to do the honors.
You just heard that. Actually, she's done the honors already, and she deserves the honors as well too. Nigeria have beaten Senegal by 2-1 in their third friendly fixture this year, as they keep preparing for the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. The 2 goals coming for the Nigerian side in the first half, one from the penalty spot from Asisa Toshola, and the other a beautiful finish from the right hand side from Tony Payne. And then Senegal cutting the deficit towards the end of the fixture, but no more goals were scored after that. It's Nigeria getting their second win from their last 3 games as 2 friendly fixtures. Next up will be Monday, something you've heard Euphoria talk about already, and that will be on Monday evening, part 2 of this Nigeria-Senegal battle. The Women's Africa Cup of Nations will be activated from the 25th of July, and Nigeria will be going there to defend their title as 10-time African champions. They'll be going for title number 11. More of your thoughts pouring in. Thank you for always speaking to us. Peter Chibuzo 7128. You know, your thoughts were surprisingly another beautiful goal, making it 2-1. Wow, so apparently just really impressed with that goal from Senegal and how beautiful it was. Husabu 4-2 says, up Super Falcons. Yes, we may not have had the privilege of bringing to you the game, contrary to our initial plans, but at least we ensured you saw those goals. And now I want to, before myself and Euphoria leave the studio, open the phone lines again just to get your holistic thoughts on the win, right? Yes, you didn't see the game. I didn't see the game either. But with the little we have shared with you and the fact that Nigeria has gotten a 2-1 success against Senegal, do you want to read any meaning into this friendly game at all? And the part I mentioned too, which is 3 games in a row now this year, and they have conceded in each of these games, 1 goal in each of these games. 1-0 against Cameroon in the first of 2 friendly games, 3-1 against Cameroon. We won the next one, but we also conceded Today, 2-1 against Senegal, and we have conceded. Is that something worrisome for you? Are you just going to say, come on, man, now, Chuma Euphoria, it's a friendly game now. It's nothing too serious. We didn't have our best 11 on the cards for the fixture, so no issues at all. You sure can have your say. The number is live on your screen right now, +234 813 6197 658. So that's +234 813 6197 658. We're via vivxsports, and please also click on that subscribe button, because we should be here for the Monday action again, and we should be here also for Nigeria versus Portugal, a friendly game for the Super Eagles, and we should be here also for the start of the FIFA World Cup on the 11th of June, Mexico against South Africa. For that, yes. Yeah, so we did for you. You know, Whiskey to say Starboy did for you. We did for you. You know. But what's your thoughts really? You know, looking at the 3 games we've played this year, and knowing that we're going to meet even more quality in the WAFCON itself.
Well, like I said, the fact that we are meeting, maybe I'm not putting so much meaning into the game against Cameroon. I mean, Cameroon are our usual run to when we are desperate for friendlies.
Yeah.
But this game against Senegal is one I wanted to really focus on. Like I said, the Senegalese side are a side that know how to play the WAFCON in recent years. We saw them in the 2022 edition in Morocco, saw them in the 2024 edition that was played last year in Morocco too, and they are also getting ready for the 2026 edition.
Yeah.
So yes, it is really important that these 2 games happened, and I'm glad that it's even happening at our backyard here, because for reasons best known to them, I mean, well, let's even leave that. The fact that we are getting to see some of these names that you're expecting to be added to the list, apart from your normal players or your normal names that apart from the 11, like I said, your standard 11. Then there are other names that that will definitely be making that list. Despite not being starters, players like Ikenne will definitely make that list if she's fit. Players like Christy Ochebe will definitely make that list if she's fit and she's not a starter. These 2 names I just mentioned are not starters. Babajide is also not a starter, and she will make that list. So you understand that the other names like Comfort, who is a goalkeeper in between the sticks today, is also one that Madogo is also trying to test and see how much she would be able to adapt to playing at the top stage, at the topmost stage in the continent. So yes, these are some of the things that we're looking forward to. But the fact that today, yes, we did not start as best starting 11, but looking at the players in defense, I somehow expected we should have been able to carry out that clean sheet, seeing that they scored late on into towards the end of the game. Having players like Oladipo, players like Dimei starting. I mean, those are 2 solid centre backs for us. They were part of the 2 centre backs that played in defence for us in that edition of the WAFCON. I mean, Oladipo was not a starter. She was what was the name of this other lady that knows how to score against Zambia? The one that is on dreads. In her no, in defense. I'm trying to remember her name. That name escapes my head now. I'll bring it back to you when I remember. But I mean, seeing Dimei there, seeing Uchebe, who sometimes plays defense too in that team, I was expecting that. I mean, since they didn't score early in this first half, they didn't score in the second half early on, I was expecting to keep that clean sheet. But that is something that I think is the coaches are going to have to look into, because this was something we also experienced when we were getting ready for the last WAFCON. We were also not keeping clean sheets in all our friendlies. We're not keeping clean sheets. And then when the game started, we eventually went on to keep 4 clean sheets. And of course, Nadozie was up for that battle, including the defense too. You could see players like Plumtar grinding out very great performances in game in, game out before they got to that final. So yes, you understand that football is sometimes very, very interesting, and you cannot judge based on friendlies alone. I mean, you cannot expect that because countries like France lost to Cote d'Ivoire in the men's side of things. You expect that, okay, Cote d'Ivoire are going to go and win, or France will not do well at the World Cup because they lost. Some of those things are not black and white. You could see, you can see that some of their star names that will be starting, we are just coming back from playing at the World Cup. Sorry, the US, that's the Champions League final, so they were on the bench. So all of those things also matters here, because like I said, many of your starters, Esther Okoronkwo, the assist queen, is not available because of injury. Alozie Michel is not not available also. She's not in the team. Plumter, who is a starter, is not available also, the team. So some of these things are the things that you also have to give grace to the team. But like I said, when we get to see them again on Monday, maybe then I'll start forming opinions as to the team. Right now, I'm still very angry at things that happened before the game. So that is what I'm looking forward to. But for this one so far, I really like the fact that they got the win.
All right, amazing. Nigeria just winning by 2-1. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast today. We certainly enjoyed your company, and apologies. Also, I'm sure that should also come from the guys who run things in football in the country. The fact that we couldn't have access to see this game live. But I hope you enjoyed at least our little effort of being able to get you to see those 2 goals scored by the Super Falcons from the game in Ikenne. She's Euphoria, and you can always catch her on social media.
Yeah, Euphoria on the score sticks to you. And like I said, it's Euphoria to all of you, please.
Yes.
It's Euphoria.
That's how Euphoria actually sticks, just for the records. My name is Chuma Noli, and we'll be back on Monday and also on Wednesday and then on Thursday too for more live footballing action for you during this busy period and busy season as the case is. So please just click on that subscribe button and also turn on your notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the drama every time we're ready to serve you with everything 100%. It's kudos to my guy, my G, Emmanuel, our producer and director for this one. See you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Just,